Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin on 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
It is the Monday edition, the moment edition, the Aaron Rodgers going in on Sean Payton. I'm being told you don't care. I think this is really interesting, though. We might talk about it a little bit edition. And the Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego edition of Wilde and Tausch. On 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, I think, on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. And, of course, on WisconsinOnDemand.com, the Wisconsin On Demand app. I'm Jace Wilde in Green Bay, Packers' first padded practice of training camp occurring 6 days in camp. Jesse Nelson is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios, and from a different undisclosed location than he's normally being undisclosed from, it is the Packers Hall of Famer. It is Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing great. I'm down in Milwaukee.
Oh!
Yeah, I'm getting a pretzel. It's I'm in a good mood this morning, so let's get off to a good start.
Oh, why are you in such a good mood, he asked?
I'm fresh. I feel relaxed. I've had a weekend where I didn't have a ton of stuff going on, so I feel refreshed. I was able to listen to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on 94.5 on my drive down. There's a lot of I got Big Cat. I'm sitting across from Big Cat. What else can a guy ask for?
That'll make you happy. So do you have any sort of responsibilities down there? Or are you just, hanging out with your Milwaukee teammates and getting a pretzel over at the 3rd Street Market Hall and Slurpee at another stand?
Yeah, just down here to hang out with my teammates. That's what I'm down here for.
Nice.
Because I want to be a good teammate.
You are a good teammate. All right, let's start with you not being in Milwaukee as the primary reason why I'm intrigued by your trip down there. But when you say you didn't have anything going on, what do you do when you don't have a weekend where you don't have something going on? Because you are, between Eleanor's activities and Max's activities, and then you being much more social than me, that's very rare that you've got nothing going on. What'd you do this weekend?
I honestly struggled with it, if I'm shooting straight with you. I didn't really have farmers markets, and I feel like I actually enjoy being super busy. But it's nice when you're not. There was not like some rocking thing. And from a show standpoint, I always prefer being busy because then I have stuff to talk about.
Material, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I for as much as it was nice to have a couple of days, I'm ready to get back at it, and I'm going to get back at it. My week is action-packed, baby, so I'm ready to go.
So we're at this weird spot in our schedule, too, where there's like a small lull between activities, like softball season ended, soccer season doesn't start till next week. Sid's getting back to gymnastics after dealing with her knee issue. So we're kind of in this same kind of realm where there's nothing that you're not traveling, you don't have anything going on. I'm just curious, though, because when that happens, I get a very long to-do list given to me. And that's not how things work at Casa de Tauscher?
That is not, no. Not even a little bit.
I'm a little jealous, quite frankly. So I did get a little bit of time while I was writing my indecisive equals ineffective story, which I know you were entertained by since Matt LaFleur offered me a job after I brought it up to him on Saturday. I did watch the tail end of the movie The Fugitive, and I happened to tweet about it, but here's what I have found from a reaction to that tweet. The 90s may have been the best decade for movies ever. Is that possible?
I love the 90s. So I know this. 2010 to 2012 to now is the worst. The absolute worst. Because it's all, and I think even Hollywood would tell you it's the worst. It's all Marvel and blah, blah, blah. There's nothing,
CGI.
There's no storytelling. And now with AI, it's only going to get worse. So I think, again, 1939 is the gold standard when it comes to movies. I think you had Citizen
When we started
Kane.
talking.
You got Gone with the Wind and all, this other stuff.
Frankly, my Tausch, I don't give a damn.
I think if you look at from 85 to 00, those years, you look in that mid-90s and you start looking at the great movies that were put out, and then you start going back into the late 80s with Wall Street and some of the other, I think it's fair to say 85 to 96. What year was Gladiator put out? Gladiator is kind of the end of the era. Prestige and all of those other movies, that was the glory era for films for us at our age.
So, The Fugitive with Harrison Ford, and it's one of my all-time favorites, 1993. Can I read to you the list of 1990, just 1993, not the 90s. This is just 1993.
Sure. Yep.
Schindler's List, Jurassic Park,
Rawr.
Tombstone, Mrs. Doubtfire, The Sandlot,
Yep.
Groundhog Day, Sleepless in Seattle, Philadelphia, A Few Good Men. That's 1 year of movies, and those are all great. And Free Willy.
You could look at that and say there haven't been that many good movies in 5 years. Legit.
Yeah, I think you're right.
You take CGI, Pixar, pixel deals, and all the little kiddie films out of the equation. What would even compare to any of those movies right now? Avatar? Avatar's made more money. I don't know anybody that went to see it. Has anyone you know went to see Avatar? Matter of fact, it was on the plane, and I was looking to kill 3 hours. I didn't even watch it. That's how disinterested I am in that. So reality TV is taken over, which for good or bad, and the movie making, I've said this since Shape of Water won an Oscar. It's gone. It's over. It's done. They don't care about the mass appeal. They're done with it, which is fine. It's their right to do it. But I'm out. That, what you just said right there in 93, those are 10 great movies. You can't tell me 10 great movies in the last decade that have been made.
I think the goal now is that the big actors and the great writers have moved on to streaming platforms to do like 10-episode series.
No.
Take a look at what's been hitting. Game of Thrones.
Name me 2 actors from Game of Thrones.
Well, I didn't watch Game of Thrones, but
No, but name me 2 actors. These huge stars with Steve Carell in it. Christian Bale. Tell me an actor that was in it. You're making your point, so I'm going to refute.
You're right.
Tell me what it is.
Right.
They're not coming to me. Right. I know the names. I just can't think of them off the top of the head.
Jenny Aniston and Reese Witherspoon went to that morning show deal.
Yeah,
okay,
on
they
Apple
can still
TV.
do movies, brother.
Steve
And they're
Carell's
not.
in that.
Yeah, that's great. I'm
2
helping
seasons. Yeah. Hang on. Let me look up Game of Thrones.
All right. Well,
there are
Jesse
plenty of
looks that
people.
up.
Amelia Clark.
Wasn't
she's
Aaron
popular.
Rodgers? Aaron Rodgers was in Game of
He
Thrones.
was very briefly. Yes. Very
Kit
briefly.
Harington. That's Jon Snow. I should have known.
Yeah,
that
nobody
one.
knows who Kit Harington
I don't know
is.
who these people are.
Yeah. The day of the movie star is over, brother. Tommy Cruise and Tom Hanks. It's over.
Yeah, he's the only one left.
No, there is going to be the lost generation, and I think the cutoff point, Who's the youngest movie star that could be legitimately still considered a movie star? Who would be the youngest that you would say, yep, movie star?
Ooh.
I can't tell you one under 30. Tell me one under 35.
Tom Holland.
No, I don't even know who he is. So,
Spider-Man.
No.
Well, that might be
Okay.
that might be our fault, though.
No, it could be, but no. Let me tell you something. My old man and mom, they knew who Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise were. So don't tell me that. If you're a big enough star, people know who you are. I know who Taylor Swift is. She's a star. Okay? So tell me a star that the young folks know and the old folks know that are under 35. I don't think you can tell me one. Come on, Joshy. Who do you got? Jesse? I forgot that. Josh isn't at my That's just because I'm sitting straight
We
across
can
from-
pop a mic today. We got it because it
Oh,
comes from the
gosh.
same way you do. We can do it.
Yeah. So
What do
I
you
am
think,
not on
Aston
video.
Rotman?
Am I not on video?
No,
From Milwaukee?
we need you on video.
understand-
Hey,
I don't
Joshy.
understand how that
Before
works.
you answer that, get Tausch on video. He said, hey, use the Milwaukee feet. That's not how that works, but
Well, that's what I thought.
sure,
how
let's
it
do
worked,
it.
but- so, can anybody name me a movie star that our generation, even our generation, anyone under 35, can you tell me who that person would be? Ariana Grande? Is she an actress? That's a name that I know.
I don't think she. I think she just sings.
Harry Styles? Is that somebody that acts?
He does, but he's you're just naming musicians that have been
Yes,
in movies.
because
These
that's
are
right.
names I
Because,
know.
by the way, streaming and music is just as popular as in movies, and I know those names.
Timothy
That ain't going
Chalamet.
away.
You know
No, that's a
Chalamet.
name. Nobody knows that name.
Yeah. You don't know that name. There are plenty of
You
people
know
who
Tim,
know that name.
You know who Tim Chalamet is. Who is
Tim.
No, I know who
Tim
Timothy
Chalamet.
Chalamet.
What does he do? What has he been in?
He's Dune. You seen Dune? That's like modern
Nobody.
Star Wars now.
Nobody has seen
People
Dune.
love Dune.
Uh-huh.
No, nobody
the
loves
new Willy Wonka. Isn't he in that?
You guys are proving my point better than I am. There isn't one.
In fairness to Tausch, I'm looking at the list of top 100 movie stars worldwide at the box office, and they are all old.
40 plus.
Tom Cruise, Will Smith, Dwayne Johnson, Robert Downey Jr., Tom Hanks, Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, Harrison Ford, Samuel L. Jackson, Denzel Washington, Morgan Freeman, Johnny Depp, Scarlett Johansson, maybe the youngest one on this list.
She ain't under 30.
No,
I
she's
don't think
definitely
she's
not.
Under 30. She's probably 35.
Julia Roberts, Chris Pratt.
She's old. Prattster. Don't know. Yeah, I mean, I know
Matt
Pratt.
Damon,
I
Vin
would-
Diesel.
I'd argue Ryan Reynolds might be like.
Yeah, but he's not. He's 35 plus.
He was born
he
in
is
'76. What does that make him?
Okay, that makes him 47. So,
He's older than I thought.
yeah.
He's got
my
chops,
points,
though.
My points,
does.
he's really choppy. My points are being made
Huh?
by y'all. Matter of
All right.
fact, I watched Tom Hanks with Maxwell last night, and he
Big?
loved it. No, Forrest Gump. What do you mean big?
Well, you said I watched Tom Hanks with
Oh, I thought I
Maxwell
said
last
Forrest Gump.
night, and you
I
never
watched-
said the movie, so
Okay.
I was guessing.
No, Forrest Gump, and there were a few parts I had him kind of, but he's already been to a nude ballet, so at this point it's
That's
like whatever. Yeah, great movie. Has there been anything that's moved you like that in 20 years? Like legitimately, it's not us. It's Hollywood, and the fact that I don't know if they've just mailed it in or if it's just that our attention spans are different. There have not been the same amount of great filmmaking and or actors, or we haven't cultivated the stardom that we used to.
All right. Well, first of all, I think Marley and Me moved me as much as
great
Forrest
movie.
Gump did. Secondly,
Anna
one more-
Kendrick.
one more movie question before we move on. And that is this. You had said during your travails to Oregon that you were hoping that Oppenheimer would
I
be
can't wait to
available
see
on
that.
the flights. I assume that we never actually thought that might be the case, but I assume you can confirm that was not the case.
It was not on yet. Hopefully, my next trip it will be.
Tausch, Jim Rutledge of Rutledge and Hamilton, and Tier 1 Tyler have texted me privately, and they're basically saying you're the grumpy old guy who
Not
just
being
needs
grumpy.
to go out and see more movies.
Hey, Jim, tell me a movie star that's under 35. You haven't.
He said he went. I'll read you what he texted me. Watched it and loved Avatar. Mark is just screaming, "Get off my lawn!"
No,
LOL.
I'm not screaming anything getting off my lawn. You can enjoy Avatar. Jim's the first person that has told me that, and that's fine. Avatar, whatever. That's the original Avatar you probably watched, not the new one. But anyways, he hasn't told me somebody that's under 35 that's a booming star.
I gave you Tom Holland, and you just drove
Nobody
right past
knows who
it.
Tom Holland
He's
is.
Spider-Man. He's like one of the most popular. I just watched
Anyone
there's a
that
series
thinks
on Apple
Spider-Man-
that we
let me
started
tell you
last night
something.
with a minute.
When somebody says Spider-Man, they're going to say
Tobey
Garfield,
Maguire.
and they're going to say Tobey Maguire. They're not saying Tom Holland.
They're Tom
No,
Holland is one of our
when
brightest
somebody
young
says
actors.
Holland, they're thinking tractors. Oh, yeah, I got a good tractor. Holland.
Holland?
40-20. Yeah,
Never even heard of a
$10.99.
Holland tractor.
That's because your hands are soft.
Yeah. But I watch movies.
Oh, you don't know anybody under 35.
When
Tom Holland. Oh my God.
Joshy, do you know who Tom Holland is?
Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Thanks, Joshy.
Third most important Spider-Man. Josh is thinking right now, Tausch, don't come down to Milwaukee anymore.
When I think of great actors, I think of the appearances that you and I and Wayne Larrivee have made in the commercials on television for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. But if we're talking about the lead actor in those great pieces, it's Gina Della of Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
It's always Gina Della from Pella. And you know what? School has been out for a while. You know, if you go through old backpacks, there's a lot of I go through my car just this morning, putting gas in on my way down. I looked back, and again, I don't know why I allow my kids to eat in the car. I shouldn't, but I do. And it was an old Reuben sandwich sticking in the back, all rotten out. I had to get rid of it. Ugh. That's one thing you never have to worry about when you deal with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin or rotting windows. And the team at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, they're so confident in that, in their craftsmanship of each window and door, that they will offer you the best wood warranty in the industry to prove it. And right now, you can make payments as low $35 a month per window and $78 per patio door. You can visit PellaWI.com today to learn more. It's end of the month, so tomorrow.
I was just about to bring that up.
You don't know what's going to be coming.
That's why you're so loose today. We're getting a lot of you old get off my lawn people not knowing who Tom Holland is I think it's a bad look for us. I'm going to be honest. It would appear that
This is not an us situation, for the record.
All right, so great.
I'm
if
trying to
Tom
include
Holland is
everyone.
this big star, what else has Tom Holland been in besides Spider-Man?
He's in an excellent series on Apple TV right now that we just started last night. It's called I don't remember
sounds
what
so
it's
good.
called.
I can't remember.
Pretty
what
good.
it's
The
called.
Crowded Room. The Crowded
That
Room.
crowded room. Yep.
Very good.
Yep. You always want to be in a crowded room, especially when someone yells fire.
Tausch is full of energy. He has not familiarized himself with Tom Holland's career.
Remember 14 minutes ago he said he was doing great today? Wow, that spiraled.
Speaking of great, Jordan Love had a great practice on Saturday. Unfortunately, I wasn't broadcasting from the sidelines because we didn't have a show, but he had a wow throw, and we'll talk about that and the reaction to it next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love, with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Oh, you forgot to clean out your backpack since school ended? Oh, rotten.
Let's make our windows.
Well, You make a great point. Tell you what, let's clean out your backpack and then we'll...
Gina Della from Pella.
While we can't do anything about rotten lunches, Pella's lifetime warranty on wood windows and doors makes it so that you'll never have to worry about rotting windows again. Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, make payments as low as $35 per month per window and $78 per patio door. Visit PellaWI.com.
Ben Brust here to tell you about why your next work van should be from Mercedes-Benz Sprinter at Zimbrick European. First off, we have versatility. The Sprinter vans offer 16 body types and thousands of ways to customize that space. Number 2, we have reliability. Sprinter's most powerful diesel engines last longer and require less maintenance, spend more time on the road and less time in those bays. Number 3, we have safety. Sprinter's safety technologies include curtain airbags all around, load adaptive electronic stability program, and crosswind and attention assist. Number 4, Van Care Mobile. Our maintenance team can come to you with routine service. Who wants to go in? Let them come to you. They work with multiple trucks on one visit. Use the Mercedes Me Connect. And last but not least, get your Zimbrick Sprinter at Zimbrick European at Rimrock Road and the Beltline, or go online at ZimbrickEuropean.com because they never charge over the MSRP.
Brunch is back at all the Madison area Great Dane pubs. Every Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Enjoy a robust brunch menu, ranging from the classic Daner's breakfast to the Playa burrito, and everything sweet and savory in between. And featuring specialty mimosas, cocktails, and mocktails, it's everything you'd expect from brunch at the Great Dane. Check it out on Saturdays and Sundays at your favorite spot, downtown, Hilldale, Pittsburgh, or East Madison. For more information, head to GreatDanePub.com/brunch. Pick your pub and let's do brunch.
The best quality roofs, siding, windows, and doors, expertly installed and at an affordable price. Hi, this is Bo from Ridgetop Exteriors. We're the trusted local experts you can count on for your home exterior projects. There's a reason so many customers recommend us after we help with their projects. Go to ridgetopexteriors.com for a free estimate.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
The 2023 season is underway and Fun for All is back with the Forward Madison FC Family Special on sale now. Bring the family to exciting professional soccer at Breeze Stevens Field. Enjoy a ticket, Pepsi product, sandwich, and a Forward Madison scarf for just $21. Forward Madison has fun for the whole family. Enjoy Lionella Vessi, the team's dairy cow, our new kids zone, and more at every Forward Madison match. For tickets, go to forwardmadisonfc.com. Forward Madison, fun for all.
Ma, is this how you feed a hamster?
I think so. Sometimes it's okay to think you know, but when it comes to the right car seat for your child's age and size, don't just think. No. Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Everybody else doing, just cause everybody doing what they all do. If one thing I know, I fall but I grow. I'm walking down this road of mine, this road that I go home. So am I wrong?
This has not been our finest hour, big fella. We're getting destroyed.
I do believe, where? On Twitter, talking text, what?
Just about everywhere that we can be destroyed.
So what are we getting destroyed about? Tom Holland?
Lack of knowledge and understanding.
Just wait a second now.
I'm getting a lot of. Do you guys not know who Zendaya is?
Yes, very popular actress.
I like her. I saw her in The Greatest Showman. She was on Disney, I believe, growing up. Very good. That is an oversight by us.
Okay.
We are being
I still
inundated.
Don't know who that is, but hey, listen.
She's in the Spider-Man movies that you haven't seen.
Hey, Tausch, have you heard of the biggest movie that eclipsed $1 billion this week?
Barbie?
Margot Robbie is 33 years old.
Hey, Margot
She's not under 30.
Okay, here's the deal. No, I said 35. All right,
okay.
I'm giving you guys Margot Robbie. I'm giving you guys
thanks.
Margot Robbie.
Appreciate it.
But for everybody that's crushing us, and I don't mind, you can crush us, that's fine. For everybody that's crushing us, you could have named 40 people back in the day. You could have. And we're sitting here Margot Robbieing and Tom Hollanding, and we're begging you, and then Zendaya. That's 3 people that maybe people over 40, you think they know who that is? They don't. I just did an internal poll outside of the Gruber Law Office's studio. Nobody knew any of them. None. A lot of young people floating around here, too. So, again, I am not the hippest cat anymore. I'll be the first to admit that. But to try and act like the movie stars are the same as they were and that they're still having the same amount, you're being disingenuous to me by saying that there's this monster star that it's the same. It's just a whole different culture. It just is.
Josh Damasio just texted in to say that your internal polling was one person.
Who'd you ask, old T? Who'd you ask?
Significant.
No, there was 2. There was 2. I saw another one on the way in. So there's 2. Okay, so
I want names.
I'm not giving names. I'm not putting people's business on. So 2 people. I'll go up. I'll go upstairs and I'll do a little more digging when I'm on the next break.
All right. So as is often the case with Tausch, I don't want to be dismissive of the underlying fact, which I think he's right about, which is there were bigger, all capital letters movie stars in previous eras, and we don't see that same degree now. That's why Tom Cruise is still relevant at 60 or whatever, doing all his own stunts in the latest Mission Impossible movie. And unless you play a superhero, you probably are not. What are you doing with the video?
I'm struggling. Well, you guys can't. The video is my phone. And I like looking at Twitter and stuff. Although it sounds like it should be that I don't look at Twitter right now, so I won't.
You're like that little cartoon guy that's peeking over the wall, and all you can see is his nose and his eyes. Jesse, how bad is it on the text line?
Jeff and Madison, the problem isn't that we're old, it's that there's a massive dilution of media.
Yes.
There's so much content, nobody out there, and so many actors and actresses, very few stand out in today's cinema. I would agree that there are more, it used to be you went to the theater and you watched the movies at the theater and then you had to buy them on VHS or whatever. Now you can go see them in the theater. You can see them on the plane.
Jesse.
You can see them on streaming. You can
Jesse.
buy them. There's a lot of more options for you to choose from.
Jeff is making my point. I'm not saying that there's not good actors out there. I'm saying just like there will never be another syndicated bomber like Seinfeld because that time period has passed. The time period for monster global superstar movie actor or actresses is over. That's the point I'm making. I'm not saying that movies they're not the same as they were. That's okay. But TV's not the same as it's all okay. But that dilution that Jeff is talking is the point that maybe I didn't eloquently put together, but it is my point and it is accurate.
Are you trying though? Are you trying to seek out movie stars under 40 or under 30? Or are you just saying, well, I know Tom Cruise, I'm going to ride with Tom Cruise?
If you don't think that I would love for another Forrest Gump, another Tom Hanks to come and blow our minds with their different storytelling, or the Julia Roberts era, or give me Kate Hudson. Give me a rom-com star. I'd love to see that happen. It's not happening. Okay? It's just not. Tell me why I'm crazy, Jesse, but I'm not.
You're not
talking about
crazy.
Jordan Love here.
You're not crazy.
We'll get to Jordan Love momentarily. Jesse, is there one more text that makes us look as stupid as we've made ourselves look, or can we just move on?
First off, Jason, I know that I don't want you just to bend here because you know.
No. I'm not bending. I'm saying
you're pliable. You're very pliable.
I am. I'm very flexible. Yeah. No, I think the as I said, I think your underlying point is true. That doesn't change the fact that we should probably, even though we're a little bit older, we should probably know who some of these people are. I'm not arguing that Tom Holland
I know Margot
is the same
Robbie,
as Tom Cruise.
Big fan of Margot's work. She's great.
Jennifer Lawrence is a year younger than her.
Jennifer Lawrence is another
Jennifer
great
Lawrence
one.
would fit that mold. Okay? So, hey, you guys are starting to name some people. Is Jennifer Lawrence Julia Roberts-esque? She's not. She's just not. Well, she's not.
It's just different eras. It's not talent,
and that is my point. No, it's talent too. Let's not kid ourselves. You had to do things a lot differently.
What about
and
Bradley?
You had to grind more than what you have to do now.
What about Bradley Cooper? I understand
he's 45
not
plus.
Yeah. I understand, but is he not? Remember, Harrison Ford is what, 60-something. Cruise is 60-something. Hanks is 60-something.
70-something.
Could be. Bradley Cooper at least is 48. Like
he's in the
still
ballpark.
he's maybe one of the more existing leading men that we currently have in movies, along with Reynolds and a few others.
I agree.
Josh and Heartland on the text line.
Oh, I
nice
miss
to have
Josh.
him back.
What has Josh been doing?
Well, weighing in on
writing music.
Hey, Joshy, headline season's coming back. I got the Academy. They are signed back up at least tentatively. We have a little some Fleet Farm negotiations going on, but headlines will be back.
Josh and Heartland on your independent study in the hallway during the commercial break. Sounds like Tausch ran into Kent Sommerfeld and Bob Uecker out there.
No, that's funny.
All right, we will move on from movies and move toward Jordan Love. Thank you to everyone who's tried to help, because I think there are some actors and actresses.
We have some holes in this, yes.
Under the age of 35.
Have holes, Jason. You and I have holes in
no
this.
doubt, but I still think the point stands. I do
For
believe
sure.
that your point stands. So that's all. That's all I'm saying. But
Okay.
we should have been. We'll do better next time, knowing who some of these people. We could also probably go through Major League Baseball right now and not know a bunch of players, but boy, could we rattle off 80s and 90s players that we had the baseball cards of.
Exactly. Yes, it's the same principle. Yes. Nobody's getting outraged when you say that.
I want to get to what Jordan Love did on Saturday. I'm really enjoying.
Tausch, this video stream is just terrible.
Why?
It's causing all kinds of problems.
He's like in the bottom.
I can't squeeze you guys.
You look like Wilson from Home Improvement. It's messing with the setup on the thing where there's text in the background somehow. I think it's illegal to have TVs on behind. It's just terrible.
Well, you would know about that since our YouTube stream. You keep putting music up there. Our YouTube stream.
Look, this sucks.
Jordan Love had a throw that did not suck. We're going to talk about it next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. Since 2010, the Rays have developed over 350 college players, over 150 players committed to Division I baseball, and 23 MLB draft picks or contracts signed. The Rays are leading off for the 2024 season with tryouts for next year's spring and summer travel teams running from now until August 3rd. Visit grbacademy.com to sign up today. Rays Baseball. Rays your game.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
From color-changing Alexandrite to shimmering zircon and everything in between at Chalmers Jewelers, you'll find high-quality, affordable, one-of-a-kind pieces. We source straight from the gem cutters and we manufacture in-house from start to finish. As the manufacturer, we believe in truth in pricing. Never pay more for quality and stunning, beautiful jewelry. She's one of a kind, and so should her jewelry be. While others may send your jewelry dreams to someone else to make, with us, your dreams become reality with the help of our custom jewelers, with you involved the whole way. With a staff that has over 200 years of combined experience, why buy from a place that marks up jewelry made by the thousands? When you can buy direct from Chalmers for that one-of-a-kind piece that is better quality, often for less.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm Vice President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog, because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain Cold Refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Are you ready to start a meaningful career in healthcare? Are you looking for a job that fits your work-life balance? Become a certified direct care professional today and make life better for older adults or people with a disability. WIS Caregiver Careers makes it easy with free online training plus earn a $500 bonus. See your name on Wisconsin's Certified Direct Care Registry. Sign up today at wiscaregivercdcp.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Hey, this is Craig Karmazin, founder of Good Karma Brands. Join Kyle Wallace and me every Sunday morning from 10 to noon for Sunday Karma here on 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
All right, putting an exclamation point on our acting conversation. Harrison Ford is 81.
70 plus.
81!
Yeah. Yep. Well, Clint Eastwood's like 90-something, isn't he?
I'm done fact-checking on ages on movie actors because I want to get to
Well, if Harrison
Jordan Love.
Ford's 81, Clint Eastwood's got to be cracking 90. Got to be right up there.
Clint Eastwood is 93 years old.
What a life that cat's lived, huh? Clint.
He certainly has had quite the career, and there's nobody quite like Clint Eastwood now in today's movies, as we've established. All right, so Tausch, I don't want to say I've been struggling with this, but it got a lot of attention, and rightfully so. It was a beautiful throw. On Saturday, my first practice where I've been really able to be fully in the mix of practice, right? Because otherwise I'm talking to you guys down at the end of the field. So this play happened right in front of me, and it was a thing of beauty. It was a, as I like to call them, wow throw. Jordan Love, third and 3 in a 2-minute drill.
Owen Wilson
feels pressure
50,
from his
50.
Oh my God!
Continue. Hey, why is my video?
Nelly!
Why did you put my stock photo
Tausch,
up when I am on video?
I want you to know there are 6 people working to get you on the stupid video stream right now.
I fixed the camera. I propped it up more. It's a better spot than
we're working. No,
put this
we've
video
moved on
back
from
up.
you.
Jesse,
we got a
put the
team
video,
on it.
You're not going to put the video up that I've put up? Just let's roll with it until we get it
Go
fixed.
back to scrolling Twitter.
All right, Jason. So I did see this, and can you take us inside the throw from Jordan?
So I saw that the Make-A-Wish kid, Big B, who broke the news of Rogers' broken thumb last year after his Make-A-Wish visit.
Oh, is
posted the video.
The bootlegged video guy is also the newsbreaker of Rogers' busted thumb?
So the key is to sit in the stands and
Probably we should think about bringing this guy on. Should we bring this guy on board? It sounds like
he certainly had video of the play that everyone wanted to see. And, you and I, we're not going to waste time debating on whether they should allow us to take video. This was the kind of thing that you want out there, whether the Packers are concerned about people being able to see what the design of the play is or not. This was the kind of moment that for people that want to see what Jordan Love is capable of, this was a good thing. It was a fantastic throw. He moves a little bit to his left, puts the ball right where it needs to be between Rasul Douglas, who is in coverage, and Darnell Savage, who is closing fast. Samori Toure catches it right in stride. He calls it perfect, which it absolutely was. 33-yard gain, picks up the third down, keeps the drive alive. It's gotten a lot of run. I've talked a lot about it on every one of our shows, including with Craig Harmison yesterday on Sunday Karma, which you can catch on Wisconsin On Demand, presented by Grubel Offices. One call, that's all. Thanks to David and his team for supporting the show and for supporting Wisconsin On Demand. Grubel Offices, one call, that's all. But here's the thing, and this struck me as I was having this conversation with one of my colleagues. If Aaron Rodgers makes that throw, it's just sort of, yeah, it was a good throw. But when Jordan Love makes it, I'm making it sound like the immaculate reception. And I'm wondering if I need to be, like, maybe I've gotten a little swept up in Love mania to make this big of a deal, because this would not have been, if Aaron Rodgers threw the pass, Tausch, it's not a wild throw. It's an Aaron Rodgers throw. And is it wrong that I'm grading on a different scale? I mean, the kid's not a Pro Football Hall of Famer to be. So I'm now having a little bit of a crisis of confidence on how I should assess the best moments from Jordan Love, because I made a big deal out of this, and so did everybody else. And it was part of a very good practice that he had. But if we're using a different measuring stick for this throw, we're not viewing it as big of a deal as we were with him.
Yeah, I don't think you should have a crisis of whatever you're going through. It's everybody wants information on Jordan Love. Everybody wants to know if he's going to be any good. That's what everybody wants to know. And by the way, including the Green Bay Packers. So when you see things, I think we all have to get over, well, Aaron Rodgers makes that throw easily. He's not here anymore, man. He's not walking through that door. Just like Larry Bird and Kevin McHale and all those guys when Rick Pitino was coaching himself. He's not. Jordan Love's your quarterback. Nobody knows much about him. And we don't know how good he's going to be. And all of that is all true. So when you see it, your job is to be the conduit to the fans. That's what you always tell us. So tell us.
It is.
Man, I've been watching him for, I know COVID year, you didn't get to watch. I have been watching him for 3 years. I haven't seen him throw a ball that good. That's newsworthy. And by the way, it wasn't just you. I saw Domofsky and Huber, and it seemed like every beat guy that we follow was saying the same thing. Best day of practice he's had. That's great. I remember you saying last year during a minicamp, great day. And then you know what? The next day it wasn't so good. That is going to be the life of Jordan Love at this point. You're going to see this. So when you hear about and you see from Big B, is it Big B? Is that who?
Big B.
Atari Big B. Atari Big B puts this out.
Yeah.
We should look at it and say, dang. Because, again, you don't judge young players on all of the mistakes. You judge them by what they can do. And then whether or not they can get coached and deliver the goods to play at that higher level consistently, that's what makes you – but you want to see it, and that's why I've asked you for 2 or 3 years. If it's just the mundane, easy, and you never see anything, that would bother me. And the fact that we're hearing more – now that's 2 that you have been so far in this camp. I'm not asking to see it every day, but I want to hear and see it and feel like everybody's excitement level is going up because he's delivering. So when you talk about that, I want to continue to hear about it. I don't want you to say, well, Aaron Rodgers would do 5 of those. That's over. It's, boy, Jordan Love. I've seen 1 today. You know what? I see 2 on Wednesday. I just keep seeing more and more to the point where it's, he makes a lot of great throws. That's the goal I think all of us as Packer fans are looking for.
So here's the reason I bring up Rodgers, though, and I don't expect Jordan Love to be at the level that he was in his prime or at his best. That's not what I'm saying. But I think back to this all the time because it's one of, and you tell a lot of great stories on this show, but one of my favorites is when you talk about how Campen was stopping the video in the offensive line meetings and rewinding so you guys could look at something that Rodgers did and saying this is special. And my point is that I wonder how often it was happening with Rodgers, because when I think back to his first camp in 2008, and obviously that's a long time ago, I feel like there were more great throws than what I have seen through the first week. Now, today they're in pads. And that's another, even though quarterbacks aren't getting hit regardless of shorts and helmets or pads, it is a different level of intensity. And we'll see if he can carry through how good he was on Saturday into today. But it's not that I'm trying to compare him to Rodgers, the 4-time MVP. I'm just wondering, am I so eager for him to be good? So because I like him, that I'm making a bigger deal out of, because quite frankly, I thought it was his second best practice that we've seen. I thought his practice in that mini camp in 2021 was better. I thought he was great. I mean, I don't remember the ball hitting the ground that day. And then, like you pointed out, the next day, he was bad. And so that's why today is really important, that he's not bad, right? That he parlays what he did on Saturday to the next strong practice again. Doesn't have to be a star-spangled awesome practice, but it can't be like, ugh, he wasn't very good today.
I don't think comparing what Aaron Rodgers did 15 years ago anyone cares about. I just don't. I think we're going to naturally look back and say Aaron Rodgers as a starter in 2008 did this. And, if they go 6-10, that's what Aaron Rodgers did. That's naturally going to happen, but I think this is all about where is Jordan Love progressing? Where is his progress going? Are we seeing more of those throws? Not, well, he's Aaron threw. I had charted.
No. Wait a minute. I'm doing a bad job of explaining this. I'm not. Okay. I don't even want to compare him to Rodgers. There. What I'm saying is that is the number of whatever wow throws or really good throws or, oh, he really fitted into a tight window there throws. Are there fewer that he's throwing, but because we want him to succeed, are we going to make a bigger deal out of them is what I'm saying,
well,
I guess.
We're making a bigger deal out of them because we haven't seen it. That's why you're making a big deal.
You're right.
You want to get into. You want this to be the new norm. It ain't there. Well, not yet, because he hasn't had, whether it's the opportunities, whatever it is. So I think understanding that this is going to be different, all Packer fans have to get on board with that. And if you don't, I think you're going to be very disappointed with the progression and where he is. So don't get caught up in all of that. You, as a conduit, tell us what you see. Your perspective, because you're 28 years in doing this.
That's what I've tried to do.
So that's why you're the guy. And all of the other stuff, don't sweat it. It's up for the fans themselves to make the determination, well, that's no good, or, boy, that's good to hear. Because for me, you hear things out of camp, and you usually get the highlights. What you guys are doing is the Sports Center of the 90s to us as fans, because other than Big B pirating a video out of there, you don't get to see anything else unless you're there.
Sure.
So when you hear and you see it, let us know, and then we'll make those determinations off of it until we see him in another game situation.
844-770-3776. Jesse,
is the video up now? So can I pull
it is.
mine
You look
down?
amazing.
It looks so good now.
I'm going to be honest with you. I liked my old tee.
No.
You didn't like it?
No.
Tausch, this is the new movie star.
You
stuff
looked like this
to
is
the
how you
old.
looked in the video. Here, hold on. Let me get down here. This is how you look.
Maybe
this
one
was the
eye.
video we have.
Maybe one.
It was not one-eyed. Come on. I'll have to look at the tape.
We'll go to the phones, and I'll stand up. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com. Coming off 2 straight 1,200-yard, 10-plus touchdown seasons, Badger junior running back Braylon Allen was on the Great Dane Huddle live from Big Ten Media Days in Indianapolis last week, and he said it's easy to tune out the outside noise and expectations.
Nobody puts more pressure and expectations on me than myself. Like, there's nobody that has a higher standard for me than me. I always want to be the best, and, I expect big things for myself, and I expect big things from whatever team I'm playing on.
Find the full conversation with Braylon Allen on Wisconsin On Demand or wherever you get your podcasts on the Great Dane Huddle.
Badger Minutes on ESPN Wisconsin are brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Schedule an appointment online today at PellaWI.com.
Life's better with an auto policy from American Family Insurance. No matter what dreams you're driving towards. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto coverage at the right price. You'll also save up to 23% when you bundle auto with home. American Family Insurance. Get a quote, find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde. Show your excitement for the Brew Crew's return with Brewers Checking from Associated Bank. You'll get a one-of-a-kind Brewers Debit MasterCard, 10% off at the team store, and VIP treatment with express check-in through the Associated Bank gate. And for the ultimate all-inclusive game day experience for your crew, check out the Associated Bank Power Alley Group Space. Featuring a full buffet and private bar, the Power Alley overlooks left center field. And who knows, the next Brewers home run could be headed your way. Learn more today at AssociatedBank.com/Brewers. Member FDIC.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. My training helps me at work when I lead by example. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
The Prairie Athletic Club offers more for your money than any other health club in the area. Train in CrossFit, Pilates, hot yoga, and over 150 group fitness classes organized per week. Or upgrade to the PAC's new Platinum membership for unlimited access to these sessions, along with Training Zone and Boot Camp classes. Then get outside at the Dolphins Cove Water Park and the Prairie Pines Golf Club in Sun Prairie. Call, stop by, or visit prairieathletic.com today. Prairie Athletic Club, family, fun, and community.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
Josie's on a vacation far away. Come around and talk it over. So many things that I wanna say. You know I like my girls a little bit older. I just wanna use your love tonight. I don't wanna lose your love tonight.
Let's take a quick call because I am looking for constructive feedback on our conversations about Jordan Love. I do care about that. Let's talk to John in Menominee Falls. John, good morning. How are you today?
Fantastic, guys. Thanks for taking my call. I'm wondering if, Jason, because you've seen for so many years great passes from Favre and from Rodgers, does Jordan Love have a little harder time getting a pass to go out of that average pass of what you've seen to be considered a great pass?
Yeah, that's a great question. That's a really fair question. And the answer is probably yes. I mean, you know, Tausch, one of the things about these players, and thanks for the call, John, is that a lot of them don't necessarily know what really great quarterbacking looks like, right? Like even Dobbs and Watson did not see Rodgers playing at the level that the rest of us have seen Rodgers play at, right? It wasn't like he was terrible last year, but he certainly wasn't the guy that I'm expecting him to be in New York or the guy that he was when he won the back-to-back MVPs in 20 and 21. So I think John's probably right. That's part of part of my issue is that I don't want to get overly enthusiastic about throws that aren't necessarily as amazing as I'm making them out to be. That's my concern. If I'm trying to articulate my concern about accurately depicting, because you're right, I do take the conduit thing very seriously. I want to make sure that I'm putting things in the proper perspective. And the throw on Saturday was a hell of a throw.
Yeah, and it's your perspective. So I don't think you should be second-guessing and judging. It's always good to reflect and understand kind of where you're coming from. But when you're talking about a young player who we don't know a ton about, tell us what you're seeing. And if you're seeing him throw 3 picks and you're seeing him throw late over the middle, tell us that. And because the coaches will say that. And when you see awesome stuff, that gets us excited. That's what we want to hear. And I think you're, analyzing it and understanding. If you can see 2-3 of those throws, and even if there's a late throw that gets tipped up and it gets picked, let us hear and see what you're seeing.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
We'll be the judge of what. And if you get too excited, which I don't think anybody really ever says that's not like one of your things, typically. I think that lets people know, and that's why when you do say it, it's like, whoa, okay. Because if you're saying it every practice, then it gets to a point where it becomes more mundane, and then we should even have higher expectations for Jordan Love. But In all honesty, and this is just me speaking, all the stuff that you're saying, that's all great. It's a whole different animal when there's pads on and there's people in your face and you can get drilled. Quarterbacking is easy. If you're not seeing this when there's no pads on and they can't hit you, I get very concerned. Because it's only going to get tougher. You got LVN firing people. DeGuara 5 yards in the backfield. Reggie White on Chris Carter style with clubbing people 5 yards. That got me excited. And that's a guy that I can't stand when you're talking about non-padded practices. If I can hear today that my guy LVN, my Steinhoffler, is in the backfield in Jordan Love's face, walking offensive tackles back into the quarterback's lap, getting in the backfield and stuffing Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, that's going to get me a lot more excited than a 7-on-7 throw or a throw from Jordan Love to Romeo Doubs or Samori Toure in a non-full-on speed practice. I want to hear it when pads come on. That's when I want to start hearing about people.
Matt LaFleur is at the podium discussing today's in-pads practice, which will kick off at 10:30. I'll be headed down there. Tausch, we'll continue this conversation to kick off the 10 o'clock hour, but first tell us about AmFam and everything that they've got going on, not just with the Packers, but with the Badgers as well.
Yeah, the Badgers camp is opening up this week, and the excitement level is high. Everybody talking Luke Fickell, and they had a big 2025 recruiting class event this last weekend. The excitement level is high, and AmFam wants you to share in that excitement by coming to a Badger football or basketball game this coming season in 2023. You and a friend get the full VIP experience. You get tickets, you get backstage, you get on the court or on the field access prior. You get great tickets. You get a bunch of great swag. Go to amfam.com/Badgers to enter. That's amfam.com/Badgers. No purchase is necessary. Dream fearlessly and insure carefully.
The 10 o'clock hour kicks off in 2 minutes, so stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Brunch is back at all the Madison area Great Dane pubs. Every Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Enjoy a robust brunch menu, ranging from the classic Daner's breakfast to the Playa burrito, and everything sweet and savory in between. And featuring specialty mimosas, cocktails, and mocktails, it's everything you'd expect from brunch at the Great Dane. Check it out on Saturdays and Sundays at your favorite spot, downtown, Hilldale, Fitchburg, or East Madison. For more information, head to GreatDanePub.com/brunch. Pick your pub and let's do brunch.
Hey, this is Craig Karmazin. Join Kyle Wallace and me every Sunday morning for Sunday Karma on a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison, on streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson. Sports Center brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out, 220 State Street, and online at goodmansjewelers.com. The Green Bay Packers back at practice as training camp continues today up in Titletown. Jason Wilde hosting Wilde and Tausch from the sidelines, sharing observations and insights in real time from Packers practice starting at 10:30 this morning. It's the first padded practice of training camp, so that's exciting. Plenty to dive into with Wilde as he continues sharing his reactions from training camp over the weekend. And if you want more, check out ESPN Packers reporter Rob Demovsky with the latest from training camp practices over at ESPNWisconsin.com. Family night for the Packers takes place on Saturday night up at Lambeau Field. Baseball, Brewers swept by the Atlanta Braves over the weekend, including an 8-6 loss yesterday afternoon. Road trip continues tonight for the crew in the nation's capital, taking on the Washington Nationals. 6:05 first pitch. Entering play today, the Brewers a half game back of the Cincinnati Reds for the top spot in the National League Central Division standings. Wilde and Tausch continues next. ESPN Wisconsin and Wisconsin On Demand.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
I've been grinding so long, been trying it for years. And I got nothing to show, just climbing this rope right here. And if there's a man upstairs, he kept bringing me rain. But I've been sending up
about now.
Matt LaFleur is at the podium as we kick off the 10 o'clock hour. We'll talk a little bit, once I get down to practice, about a few of the things that he's talking about, including Anders Carlson, who was not sehr gut during, I know he's not German, but that's the only language that I speak, so that's the best I can do. He was not very good during Saturday's practice. But I want to get back to Jordan Love. I know we've got a couple of calls, 844-770-3776. I also want to get to one of the areas where he has improved, and this is the subject of my story in the State Journal this morning. It was part of an exchange I had with Matt LaFleur. Matt LaFleur loves the phrase indecisive equals ineffective. And I don't want to talk about how Jordan Love has developed in that department coming up a little bit later. But let's go back to the phones, 844-770-3776. Let's talk to our old buddy Jim in Saukville. Jim, good morning, buddy. Thanks for holding on. What do you got?
Well, I guess as a follow-up to the last caller. So, yes, I mean, we can look back to Aaron Rodgers and his last year before he started in the preseason and training camp. But he still was Aaron Rodgers and ended up being, one of the top three quarterbacks of all time, Hall of Famer. So from that perspective, is it literally impossible? Is there any way you can compare what Jordan Love is doing at this point versus, let's say, a good quarterback, good veteran quarterback? Is there any resources out there that would allow you to compare on that level rather than a quarterback who, by all measures, is still going to be a Hall of Famer? Meaning, is it really fair? Rodgers still ended up, you're comparing no matter how good he was that in the training camp before starting his first year, he still ended up being Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I mean, look, for me, Tausch, and thanks for the call, Jim, I've only watched a certain number of quarterbacks. I haven't covered other teams. I can tell you this, I saw Matt Flynn go from being a guy who didn't look like he had an NFL arm to being a guy that was pretty darn good the times that he had to play, and watching him in practice and watching him in preseason. So, I've also seen a guy like Brian Brom who arrived with a lot of expectations and had been in the conversation to be a top 10 overall pick had he come out after his junior year at Louisville. Watching him going, I can't believe they drafted this guy in the second round, right? So, again, Tausch, maybe I'm just using this as a little bit of a therapy session for me, but I just want to make sure that I'm doing a good job of giving people the fair and balanced view of what Jordan Love does. And it did strike me when I was having this conversation that the throw that we all made a very big deal out of, I don't want to call it routine for Aaron Rodgers because that would be underselling it, but it was the kind of throw that maybe Aaron Rodgers makes 7 out of 10 times, and maybe Jordan Love only makes 2 or 3 out of 10 times. And that's why I'm kind of wondering exactly what's fair to Jordan to view those types of throws as. That's my issue.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any problem thinking through, and it's great. You have a 3-hour platform to kind of go through that process so people understand where you're coming from when you're reporting and when you're putting your stuff out there. So I think the question, or at least from my standpoint, is let's just let this thing unfold. We all want to know what's happening, what it's going to look like. Is he going to be any good? All this other stuff. And I think for most of us, we look at where he's come from, where nobody was really saying much. Oh, he's going to continue to improve, blah, 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 blah. To now you're starting to at least hear the coaches discuss his improvements. And you're seeing, from your reporting and other people's, that he's looking a lot better. Best day of camp, some said. You said the second best day that he's ever had. and now build off of that. And then when we get to these joint practices in the preseason games, hopefully he plays in the preseason. I think he needs to. Mm-hmm. And we start getting a better feel for where his ground floor is going to be, because I would hope that this is not the quarterback we see here today and that we're going to see in August. If that's who we see in November, we're not going to be happy. We want to see continued growth. There is a ton of runway for him to get better, for Christian Watson to get better, and for all of these other guys to get better. And we're not used to that. We need to, as Packer fans, have an understanding. And I actually think, again, a much larger sample size than just being down in the ESPN in Milwaukee offices. When you just talk to people, I think everybody sick of Aaron Rodgers, and let's enjoy this underdog youth movement that we have. And people bake into the cake that it ain't going to be 2020 and 2021. And we don't want to see 2022. We could see the same results, but if we see the same malaise that we saw in the middle part of last season, that'll be disappointing. I would prefer seeing, some nice stuff, inconsistencies, but, man, it's building. You feel it. That's what I think all of us as Packer fans are hoping for, and understanding that might lead to a down year in the overall. But I think in the overall, we're just looking to see good. What's the dude in The Price is Right, the little stair climber dude? That's what we're looking for. And we don't want to fall off the cliff. We want the yodeling dude to just keep climbing. And it can be steady. It doesn't need to be, he's off by $25. It's going to climb. We want to see some of that. And I'm not so mad. I don't know if the yodeler does this. If you end up going back down a little bit to climb back up more.
No, he just goes over the precipice.
That's what I thought. So maybe yodeler's not the right guy. It's roller coaster dude. All right, great. But I want to end on a good note. I want the season to go that direction. I don't want us to be into a steep decline that goes into a dark hole and you hope that there's light at the end of it. I want to be out in the open, climbing, dipping, and finishing with a climb.
So the other aspect of Saturday's practice that I think is important, and one of the observations that I did make, was that I thought it also showcased what it could look like with the Matt LaFleur offense being run the way Matt LaFleur wants to run it. And I know he doesn't like this, you finally get to run your offense instead of running it the way Rodgers wanted to narrative. But I thought a bunch of Jordan's throws that were on target and on time were also to guys who were really open. Like he had a throw down the field to Jaden Reed, and it was just the scheming of it was really good. Like he schemed him open. There were a couple of other throws that they had. There was one to Dobbs that I saw. There was a different one to Toure where the receiver was open to such a degree that you thought, this is the thing that's we've talked about it a bunch, and it was neat to see it in action, Tausch, that he's going to be able to help his young quarterback if this offense schemes guys open the way it has been advertised to do.
And that's what needs to happen. And if it doesn't, that's on. Matt LaFleur needs to get Jordan Love 15 completions a game. And then Jordan Love needs to make 5 or 6 plays on third down. And if that happens, we're going to be really happy with where this team's going. So there's, as I said, when the Packers made that move and to move on from Aaron Rodgers, the pressure is going to be on Jordan Love, absolutely. But it's on Matt LaFleur just as much, if not more, because this is the road they've decided to go down. Matt LaFleur, for however involved he was or was not in the decision-making, it is now his offense. We heard Mark Murphy say it's going to be more of what Matt LaFleur envisioned when he took over, and with good reason, which we all agree with. So here you go. How are you? Kyle Shanahan went to the NFC Championship game with Mr. Irrelevant as a quarterback for the vast majority of the season. Don't talk to me about anything else. So if you want to be in that echelon of guys. Now, you could say, well, do they have a Deebo Samuel? Do they have a George Kittle? The answer would be not yet. But you have pieces. It is your job as a brilliant young offensive mind that you have been labeled to do it. Now we have to see if he can do it. And if he can, wow, we're in great shape. If he can't, then you have to start really looking and evaluating where we're at as a football program, because that has been baked into this cake.
I'm going to get ready to head down to practice. That means we're going to play trivia. Jesse, what is today's category, and what caller would you like?
Sorry to Trucker Mark, who just called in. Too late, buddy. You just missed it. Today is the Sports Weekend Recap. So, yeah.
I'm trying to think what even happened this weekend.
Well,
Senior Open over in Breton, or in the Wales area.
Good Tom Holland
miserable.
flick came out on Apple TV. You could have called
Jonathan Taylor asked for a trade.
There's some other fun things that happened over the weekend as well that I caught up watching SportsCenter while getting my dog to fall asleep.
Let me tell you something. For everybody that wants the Green Bay Packers to have an owner, go ahead and look what Indy's got. What a mess. No, thank you.
Jesse, what caller do you want for trivia, buddy?
We're talking a lot of Jordan Love, so let's ride with caller 10. I like having it around that range.
All right,
anyway.
Caller 10 right now, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776, caller 10. I want to get back to this indecisive equals ineffective portion of our conversation with the coach on Saturday, because I do think that is really an interesting thing, and where Jordan Love is at in that department. We'll do that when I get down to practice. We'll play trivia, though, next. 844-770-3776. Caller 10. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here for Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust. Well, with the start of training camp in Green Bay, we're getting closer and closer to the start of the new season and another shot at a championship. Gosh, it sure is great to be a fan of a team that contends to be best of the best every season. You know who else is recognized every year as being the best of the best? Zimbrick Chevrolet on Main Street in Sun Prairie. If you're looking for a new or pre-owned vehicle, Zimbrick Chevrolet has a great selection. It is convenient to shop on the lot with their friendly sales teams by your side, or you can go online at home over at ZimbrickChevrolet.com. Service, Zimbrick Chevrolet is second to none. Whether it's routine maintenance or an emergency issue, the service team at Zimbrick Chevrolet gets the job done right and works with you every step of the way. And you can take my word for it. Zimbrick Chevrolet is truly the name you can trust. View inventory, schedule a service appointment, and learn more about all they have to offer at ZimbrickChevrolet.com. That's ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Take the long, strange trip with Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra. Weekdays from 4 to 6.
Ben Brust, and are you smarter than Ben Brust? In 3, 2, 1. What is the process of a liquid turning into a solid called? Pass! Ben, you passed on the question. What is the process of a liquid turning into a solid?
Yeah, I did.
Water's a liquid.
Freezes.
Subscribe to the Scalzo and Brust podcast free on the Wisconsin On Demand app.
Life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance, because you'll feel protected no matter how the wind blows. All so you can keep enjoying the home of your dreams. And our expert agents can help you save up to 23% when you bundle home with auto. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. American Family Insurance. Get a quote? Find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Get huge savings this weekend only during Fleet Farm's Truckload Savings Event. Stock up on all your favorites, like 25 pounds of black oil sunflower seed, just $13.99. 40-pound bags of Superior Premium Grade Hardwood Fuel Pellets, 2 for $10. 40 pounds of Diamond Crystal Iron Fighter Water Softener Pellets, only $5.89. Or pick up a Sterilite 18-gallon storage tote, on sale, just $4.99. We have what you need for your everyday life. Fleet Farm.
In a world where hunger strikes like a monster, there's only one place to turn. Pasquale's Cantina. Here to save the day with the biggest, baddest, and most delicious dishes. Like the Arizona Ranch Pizzeria. A crisp flour tortilla with grilled fajita chicken. Jones Cherrywood smoked bacon. Barbecue sauce. Cheddar jack cheese. Spiced ranch. And scallions. All served like a pizza. Don't destroy the city. Tame your appetite at Pasquale's.
Bringing the flavors of the Southwest to the Midwest. Pasquale's Cantina.
LabCorp Clinical Trials is changing to a new name, Fortrea. While the name may be different, Fortrea combines decades of great experience and professionalism with new opportunities for clinical trial participation. It's more than a mission and more than a new name. Fortrea is dedicated to moving healthcare forward. To learn more about the future of healthcare and upcoming clinical trials, visit us at FortreaClinicalTrials.com. That's FORTREA clinicaltrials.com.
Mark Tauscher here for Chalmers Jewelers. Well, it's always a good time to get that special someone in your life a beautiful gift. And when I'm in need of a new piece of jewelry, Chalmers Jewelers is my go-to place. Whether I want a timeless classic or a one-of-a-kind piece, Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison has just what I'm looking for. My life has been made so much easier thanks to the great team over at Chalmers Jewelers, and is the reason I keep going back for more. Visit chalmersjewelers.com to find your perfect new piece of jewelry today.
We're on the Packers.
I'm skeptical that the sky is the limit for the 2023 Packers.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
I think the sky might be the limit for the 2024 Packers.
Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
Wilde and Tausch back with you. Jesse and Tausch for the time being.
You like it when Jason goes down, don't you?
No, it's actually really hard now with the video stream.
So it's so stressful. You have that in-show trivia.
I love playing trivia. Yeah, we got in-show trivia with Tom Holland, non-Spider-Man roles. Good luck to you on that one today, Tausch. You can check it out on the video stream.
I don't think I'm going to get any of those.
Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. Yeah, you're going to learn something today, though, which is what we try to do with in-show trivia every now and then. Just like we do with our regular Wilde and Tausch trivia, which we play right now, the Sports Weekend Recap, and we welcome in a first-time contestant.
No!
Jason's missing out on a first-time contestant, Jim in West Allis. Jim, welcome to Wilde and Tausch trivia. Without Wilde, how we doing today, Jim?
I'm doing great.
Do you know who Tom Holland is?
No, I do not.
See? The case studies just keep piling up.
There it is.
You guys keep laughing at me.
That's unfortunate. All right, Tausch, you have question 1 for Jim in West Allis, a first-time contestant playing Wilde and Tausch trivia on the Sports Weekend Recap. Have at it.
All right, Jim. The basketball tournament, televised on the ESPN family of networks, featuring former college players competing for a cash prize, is called TBT. What does TBT stand for? Is it the basketball tournament, the tough baller tournament, or totally better 20 years ago tournament?
I'll go with number 1, the basketball tournament.
Bam. I think C would probably be more accurate.
One of the rare times where we would have accepted 2 answers for Wilde and Tausch trivia.
Has Brust ever played in that TBT or not?
I forgot. So I think they only tried to put a Wisconsin team together once, and I thought he was not included in it.
So then, Diener and Marquette won this thing 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, they won $2 million.
Why would Wisconsin, who has all this talent, why would we not organize a team? Why would Benny Brust not organize a team?
That's a great question for you to ask Brust when you're on with Scalzo and Brust. You joining them today?
I am, yeah, of course.
Lead with that.
Standard,
please.
4:15 every Monday.
Yeah, every Monday. You know you. Question number 2, Jim in West Allis. Which of these teams entering play today holds the best record in the American League? Is it the Toronto Blue Jays, the Baltimore Orioles, or the Tampa Bay Rays?
I'll go with Baltimore Orioles.
Got it. Orioles, hot. Remember how good the Rays were to start the year?
Yeah.
Not even
how
in
bad
first
the
place
A's
in their
were
own
when
division.
when you said that the Brewers would never win another
Yeah,
game?
they're still bad. A's are still bad. Orioles, first place.
Yeah, the A's are bad. Yeah, it's good to see that the Baltimore. It's better when the Baltimore Orioles are good. All right, last one. Let's have a perfect week. Yeah, it is. Great ballpark, Camden Yards. Which MLB team acquired starting pitchers Jordan Montgomery and Max Scherzer, affirming they are, and I quote, all in ahead of the trade deadline over the weekend? Is it the Yankees, the Angels, or the Rangers?
The Rangers.
Perfect week. I think we're going to have a perfect week this week. I do.
You're calling? Wow.
Yeah, well, I mean, what a start. And those were not, that wasn't like cake questions. Those last two were not, you had to know your ball in order to know that. So it was nicely done.
Jim in West Allis knows his ball. He's got all 4 entries for the ESPN Wisconsin prize pack drawing taking place on Friday. Jim, thanks for calling in as a first-time trivia contestant today. Appreciate it. And best of luck as the week continues.
Thank you so much.
Jim in West Allis, today's contestant, Wilde and Tausch trivia. Tausch,
are you going to come off of your terrible Brewer take? I have my take was I still am nervous about this offense, but I have to admit what they have done post All-Star break has been uber impressive. Really impressive.
So I'll share this real quickly. I tweeted this last night. I did a little research, put some stats up on Twitter. Or X.
Who gave them to you?
You
didn't look them up.
No, I looked them up myself.
Yeah, this Twitter thing, and you guys know I'm a Elon Musk stan. It's going to take me a while to look. There's a big black X now on my phone instead of the little baby blue bird.
Got to get used to it.
I like the baby blue bird better, but I'm not one of these, that's ridiculous. Hey, man, you spend $44 billion. If you want to switch an app thing up, go ahead and switch it.
So I'll officially decide Sophia Minard's going to join us tomorrow. And before her appearance, I will decide whether Dunzo the Clown owes an apology or not. Because entering play today, the Brewers are a half game back of the Reds.
I think if you do make this apology, I don't want to be a doll mutilator. I think you have to snap an arm or something off of Dunzo. I do. And then surgically have someone repair and or sew something back on Dunzo.
Well, listen.
That's what I think.
Before we decapitate Dunzo.
No. We're not taking his head off, but an arm or a finger or.
That's decapitation.
No, decapitation is head only. Come on.
Whatever.
No, it is. Thank you, Josh. Josh is nodding his head in agreement.
Okay. Since June 1st, the Brewers are 28-23, 5 games over 500. Their record against the Cincinnati Reds alone,
which is one of the best teams in the bigs,
10-3.
That's pretty good.
Their record against teams not named the Cincinnati Reds, 18-20.
Okay.
And the Brewers' record against teams that are not the Cincinnati Reds, but teams that are currently over 500, 8-14.
That ain't great.
The Reds' record against every team but the Brewers since June 1st, 29-10.
So is it important to beat the team that is ahead of you in the division? Is that an important thing
Very,
to do?
And that's why I'm torn on whether an apology is owed.
I can understand that. I can understand where your head's at. But I think all of us, after that A's series, and listen, I'm not apologizing one bit. That was brutal. To lose to a team that is trying to relocate, a la the Cleveland Indians circa 1988 in their fake movie, that was a great movie, that literally is playing out in front of our eyes, and the Brewers get swept at home. I'm sorry, criticism needed to be leveled. And you know what? That team has bounced back. Christian Yelich is back. They're still not offensively. They had a good weekend offensively against the Braves. They got
swept.
I understand, but they scored a lot of runs.
It doesn't matter. They got swept by. They lost 5 out of 6 to the first place team in the East.
The Braves are pretty doggone good.
They're very good.
Okay, they're very good. Their
That's what I'm
lineup
saying.
is stacked.
Every team but the Reds, that's a decent playoff contending team, has beaten
Jesse,
the Brewers
my
more
point
than
is,
they haven't.
We all looked at what happened then. Some of us were very critical, myself included. But what you've seen them do since, and really since the All-Star break, has been pretty doggone impressive. Okay? And now they're adding pieces. So I'm coming off of my harsh criticism. I overreacted. I was a prisoner of the moment because they lost to the Cleveland Indians of 1989. Okay? I am coming off of that.
I will determine tomorrow when Jason's here hosting the show, as he's doing from the sidelines.
What
coming
a
up next.
tease.
And
What a tease.
Before Sophia's appearance, I will determine whether Dunzo owes an apology. Because the status of the Brewers right now, given those numbers that I just read,
all right.
torn.
If you indeed are going to chop off something of Dunzo, I want to make sure I'm in studio tomorrow to watch. So make sure you give me a heads up.
I'll give you and bring the bandsaw. 844-770-3776. Jason Wilde hosts Wilde and Tausch from the sidelines of the first padded practice of Packers training camp, sharing his observations in real time. Coming up next on Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Oh, you forgot to clean out your backpack since school ended? Oh, rotten.
Let's make our windows.
Well, you make a great point. Tell you what, let's clean out your backpack and then we'll...
from Pella.
Well, we can't do anything about rotten lunches. Pella's lifetime warranty on wood windows and doors makes it so that you'll never have to worry about rotting windows again. Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, make payments as low as $35 per month per window and $78 per patio door. Visit PellaWI.com.
The 2023 season is underway and Fun for All is back with the Forward Madison FC Family Special on sale now. Bring the family to exciting professional soccer at Breeze Stevens Field. Enjoy a ticket, Pepsi product, sandwich, and a Forward Madison scarf for just $21. Forward Madison has fun for the whole family. Enjoy Lionella Vessi, the team's dairy cow, our new kids zone, and more at every Forward Madison match. For tickets, go to forwardmadisonfc.com. Forward Madison, fun for all.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde. Show your excitement for the Brew Crew's return with Brewers Checking from Associated Bank. You'll get a one-of-a-kind Brewers Debit MasterCard, 10% off at the team store, and VIP treatment with Express Check-In through the Associated Bank gate. And for the ultimate all-inclusive game day experience for your crew, check out the Associated Bank Power Alley Group Space. Featuring a full buffet and private bar, the Power Alley overlooks left center field. And who knows, the next Brewers home run could be headed your way. Learn more today at AssociatedBank.com/Brewers. Member FDIC.
Matt Hamilton here for Iron Jock. Believe it or not, being an Olympic curler takes a lot of practice time on the ice. And despite always being cool, I still work up a sweat. That's why I love Iron Jock and their no-stink technology. Silver Iron technology is the how behind why it works, and that is about as technical as I can get with it. What I do know is that if I'm on the ice or just wanting to look good, I know Iron Jock has t-shirts, polos, and hoodies for me. Support this Wisconsin-based company today and get gear at ironjoc.com. That's ironjock.com.
I was rolling my rig on a Crescent City run with my hands on the wheel looking into the sun. With a flash, I became temporarily blind by a plate glass truck I was tailing behind. Next thing I know, I'm in the side of a ditch with a bent rear wheel and a broken off hitch. But I was hauling again in just a short while, because Truck Star Collision is on my speed dial.
Do you operate a fleet, whether it's heavy-duty 18-wheelers or medium-duty delivery vans? And does vehicle downtime make you cringe? Time is money, and a fleet vehicle on the sideline hurts because you need your fleet to be up and running 100% of the time. If one of your heavy or medium-duty fleet vehicles is out of commission, Truck Star Collision Center in Deerfield will get it back on the road quickly. Since Truck Star is a full-service facility, the complete repair is done in-house, saving you time and money. And remember, they're able to repair both heavy and medium-duty vehicles. Truck Star Collision Center, minutes off I-94 in Deerfield. Call 888-400-1002 or log on to truckstarcollision.com.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
The time for t-shirt weather is here, and so is the time to sign up for a new membership at Prairie Athletic Club. Enjoy everything the Pack has to offer indoor and outdoors this summer, including access to Dolphins Cove Water Park and the new Prairie Pines Golf Club in Sun Prairie. Summer memberships are now available, but if you're not ready to join yet, not a problem, as guests are welcome daily. Call, stop by, or visit prairieathletic.com. Prairie Athletic Club, family, fun, and community.
Watch every ESPN Madison show live every day. Subscribe to ESPN Madison on YouTube for live video of every show and exclusive content. Just search ESPN Madison.
Follow me, everything is alright. I'll be the one to tuck you in at night. And if you want to leave, I can guarantee you won't find nobody else like me. Won't give you money, I can't give you the sky. You're better off if
We are underway at Packers training camp practice number 5, the first in pads for the 2023 Green Bay Packers.
For reference, hey, training camp porn. So for reference, if at this point when I played almost my entire career, how many padded practices would we have had by? So it started on Wednesday, right? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. That's 6 days.
Yeah, you wouldn't have had a day off like they had yesterday.
There would not have been a day off. We would have had double-day pads the entire time. First 3 days for sure. So we would be looking at somewhere between, I would think, 8 or 9 practices in full pads by the time that they put pads on today.
Right, and then you'd have that great 4th day where you had pads in the morning and then special teams in the afternoon. And that was your big respite.
Well, no, and then the other one was shells, which you still had to put on, and it was still full speed. Man, what a time. What a time for these young men.
All right, so even though much like movie stars in our generation were bigger and better, training camp was more grueling.
You know, and Jason, the ironic part of this is when we were just, and I'm not going to bring it back to the movie stars, but you know what's funny? Football stars have never been bigger than they are right now.
It's true.
So how does that correlate?
Well, I think in part, I would argue that the game has evolved to a more exciting brand of everybody likes scoring. You know how you always tease me? Entertain me.
Yeah.
I think that probably factors in.
There's more coverage than ever.
Oh, there's no doubt about that.
But there should be in the same respect with movie stars. It's just such a weird dynamic, but continue.
So even though this is different than what you went through as a player, that we're having our first padded practice almost a week into camp.
Probably go an hour and a half. We went 2.5
Yeah,
hours.
we might go all the way to like 12:30 or so.
Okay.
How do things change? Explain to people how things will change today for these guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so you're going through all your stuff, and for linemen, it's still physical. Like I don't want to act like just because there's no pads on. We heard about that with my guy LVN firing DeGuara 5 yards into the backfield, bull rushing, and all of that stuff. But now you have to play different, especially on the D-line. It's no longer, well, this guy's not going to pop me. Well, now you're going to get popped. You're going to get combo blocked, and you're going to get shoved, and you better keep it. It's football. All of this other stuff, it's practice. It's, getting your footwork down. It's all the basics. But really, that's 9 on 7. I don't think 7 on 7, it'll get a little more physical with the receivers and the defensive backs.
Mm-hmm.
But you're now seeing how a guy got off on his combination block and how linebackers fill, and are they bringing their feet through a tackle. You're not going to go into the ground tackling, but you're going to see, no, Devondre Campbell's there, he made the tackle. You're going to be able to see all of that, and there's not going to be any, well, I would have made that play. No, you got to have your gaps. You have to have all of that. So offensive line coaches, defensive line coaches, they're all going to love this because they can actually now see, how's old boy going to hold up when there's a double team coming at him? How did he react when the guard pulled and the tackle blocked down? All of those things, now you feel it and you get to see it. And from a player standpoint, I know for me, I always would rather, it's more physical, but I always wanted to be in pads if you take away the pain and the physicality of it. But just from an execution standpoint, I always felt better about executing what I was trying to do because it's a heck of a lot easier to block somebody when there's shoulder pads on. You can grab onto things rather than, I don't know if this guy's going to bull rush me because we don't have pads on. You know what you're getting. People are going to bury their head, and they are going to bring it. And that's exciting from an O-lineman standpoint.
So supposedly, and Matt LaFleur told us this on Saturday, that they do not allow their defensive linemen or their edge rushers to bull rush when they're not in pads. So that will be one difference.
Yeah.
They will be able to do that. Now, maybe that was different when you were playing.
I heard that. No. I heard that. If you think Aaron Campman wasn't doing one-arm stabs into my chest and, Clay Matthews wasn't doing that, people say that. You block them a few times, and they're like, I'm going to – because it actually –
they want to get to the quarterback.
It teaches you some bad habits because you can play a little bit lighter. You have to be able to set that anchor. And when you don't – so everybody will tell you that. But I bet you if you go watch the film, people are still doing some bull rushes, just maybe not as much as they will be when there's pads on.
So the next thing that I'm curious about, though, is, and I am 1,000% guilty of this, and I use David Martin as the most frequent example of it. I am a sucker for the all-Oneida off-season program.
Because there's so much time and such little content to put out. That's why.
Well, but I still, whether I have a lot of content or not, I still see guys that are impressive in the off season, and I get excited about them. And then the pads come on, and some of them continue. Right? It's not like they all disappear, but some of them absolutely disappear. Why is that?
Well, because it's a whole different game. The one thing I will say, and this from an O-line standpoint, you can tell a lot even without pads. How a guy moves, how he gets up to his next level. What you can't tell is, can he hold up at the point of attack? And for defensive linemen, I think it's actually even more so because you have to have your quicks, you have to showcase it. But it comes down to guys like contact. You can't be a great player if you don't like contact. And that goes for running backs, it goes for tight ends, it goes for everybody because for as much as the game has gotten more athletic, you still have to be willing to put your nose in there and take it and then give it. And so for some guys, they want to play a softer style of ball. You're more apt to be able to do it now if you're a great athlete than you could back then. But you can see that right away. And if you're uber talented, you can get away with it a little bit more, but you can see it right off the get-go, and it's a very hard thing to gain. If you're at this point in your career, football career, and you're not that guy, you're talking about 7th grade, that's 5, that's 9, that might be 10, 11 years of your football life. You ain't going to change. You don't go from a guy that hates contact to all of a sudden, because you're now in the NFL, loving it. Doesn't work like that.
So speaking of a guy who's uber talented, and this was the guy that I wanted to ask you about because this is potentially when we could really see how special he is, or we could see him maybe backslide a little bit before he gets his footing to move forward again, is Luke Musgrave.
I was going to say tight end. I was just going to say, I waited to not interrupt you, though.
Thank you.
I think the most interesting part of today's practice, O-line's going to be O-line. Running backs are running backs. Tight ends, and especially young tight ends. The college game has went away from you. Even at Wisconsin, you're seeing less and less. The fullback, that type of physicality, which you're still going to need to have when you're running outside zones and you're running some of the gap scheme things that Green Bay likes to do, will he be willing to get himself in there? He is not going to be Mercedes Lewis. I think you're just looking for competency because of his physical, speed and everything that he's got. Are these guys going to be willing blockers? I saw some of the training camp reports that so far with no pads, it's looked pretty good. Well, today will be the day, and that is something that I would say for you and for all of the fans and everybody up there, you're going to see guys getting great combination periods where you go 2-on-2 with tackles, working up to the linebacker on some scoop blocks. You're going to see trying to cut off that defensive end, so when you're running an outside zone the other way, can you get your nose in front and block them? All of those things are going to be fascinating to watch because I think right now we think, Musgrave's a great athlete. He's going to be more of a Jimmy Graham type. Well, if you can get a George Kittle type, that's what you're looking for, especially in this system where the play-action pass is so important.
I want to get back to our indecisive equals ineffective conversation that we kept putting off. But, Tausch, we play a game we like to call Need It or Don't Need It, presented by Fleet Farm. Today's the day that I need to see Luke Musgrave. That's one of the things that I came in today's practice wanting to see, and certainly when it comes to Fleet Farm, you love to talk about it as well.
I do. Fleet Farm, they're hiring for their brand new Muskego store. Are you going to join
Jesse! There we go.
Jesse Nelson is potentially, you can start doing the show from the Muskego store.
See you, folks. I'm going for a
double
new gig.
dip. You can enjoy a 20% team member discount for you and your family. So when Jason gets that second pool, he can talk to Jesse. It can work out a deal to get that 20%. Join the team. Start getting paid immediately upon hire. No need to wait. Stop by for open interviews on site all day, every day. Plus, you can get huge savings during Fleet Farm's Truckload Savings event. That's this weekend only. Stock up on Jason. Boy, this is like written for you. Wild bird supplies, cat food and treats, salt pellets, and so much more. Don't miss out on a truckload of savings this weekend at Fleet Farm. You can find everything you need for your everyday life at Fleet Farm, which has been serving the Midwest since 1955.
Continuing live from Packers training camp. As the pads are on, the players are stretching. We're in for a long haul today. I'm guessing this will be easily the longest practice of training camp. We'll bring you more of the sights and sounds next, live from Ray Nitschke Field. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison, home of the Big Win and Madison Casino Guru, is transforming guests into winners. Making an ordinary day into a big win day is easy with a 95% average payout. And with over 140 daily jackpots, the number of people winning has never been bigger. So what are you waiting for? Escape to Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison for your next big win.
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison.
You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
Big trailers and big opportunities at Stoughton Trailers. Immediate openings at the Broadhead, Evansville, and Stoughton locations. Assemblers, forklift drivers, and more. Apply at stojobs.com. Coming off 2 straight 1,200-yard, 10-plus touchdown seasons, Badger junior running back Braylen Allen was on the Great Dane Huddle live from Big Ten Media Days in Indianapolis last week, and he said it's easy to tune out the outside noise and expectations.
Nobody puts more pressure and expectations on me than myself. There's nobody that has a higher standard for me than me. I always want to be the best, and, I expect big things for myself, and I expect big things from whatever team I'm playing on.
Find the full conversation with Braylen Allen on Wisconsin On Demand or wherever you get your podcasts on the Great Dane Huddle.
Badger Minutes on ESPN Wisconsin are brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Schedule an appointment online today at PellaWI.com.
Set summer in motion with the most electrifying Honda vehicles yet. Like the CR-V and Accord, with available hybrid powertrains designed to deliver more thrilling performance and more innovative tech. Summer's here. Make every adventure more electrifying with Honda, the most awarded brand in car and driver 10 best history.
See your Wisconsin Heartland Honda dealer today. Honda gets Wisconsin.
See dealer for financing details.
Mark Tosher here for Chalmers Jewelers. Well, it's always a good time to get that special someone in your life a
beautiful gift. And when I'm in need of a new piece of jewelry, Chalmers Jewelers is my go-to place. Whether I want a timeless classic or a one-of-a-kind piece, Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison has just what I'm looking for. My life has been made so much easier thanks to the great team over at Chalmers Jewelers, and is the reason I keep going back for more. Visit chalmersjewelers.com to find your perfect new piece of jewelry today.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. Since 2010, the Rays have developed over 350 college players, over 150 players committed to Division I baseball, and 23 MLB draft picks or contracts signed. The Rays are leading off for the 2024 season with tryouts for next year's spring and summer travel teams running from now until August 3rd. Visit grbacademy.com to sign up today. Rays Baseball. Rays your game.
Jim Rutledge here. If I sound lighter and fitter than I ever have sounded before, that's thanks to Carbon World Health. I had hit a wall in my efforts to lose weight while maintaining muscle. Then Dr. Ness Rodriguez introduced me to semaglutide, and I've dropped over 20 pounds in weight, and I have my body fat percentage at 10%. Semaglutide is the game-changing weight loss treatment you've seen all over social media, and it's available to you at Carbon World Health. It's FDA approved and will burn fat, not muscle. Go to carbonworldhealth.com today to set up a consultation.
What does summer sound like in a new Chevy? Find the best way to the ballpark with the Chevy Equinox navigation system. Load up the kayaks with room to spare in the spacious Chevy Trailblazer with 60/40 split folding rear seats. Haul out the camper and spend a night roasting marshmallows with the Chevy Silverado. Or feel the roar of the crowd and bring the whole crew along in the Chevy Traverse with seating for up to 8. So what are you waiting for? Click now and find summer happiness in a new Chevy. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today. Traverse seating up to 8 standard and LS available on LT with second row bench seat, RS Premier, and High Country seat 7.
We're on the Packers.
The NFC is mediocre to below mediocre.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
The Packers are not going to be some cellar-dwelling stink pot.
Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
Just missing the horn as we come back live from Ray Nitschke Field. You're a big whistler lately.
Yeah, I'm a big whistler. And I'm not going to lie to you. I'm excited. I just saw Domofsky's post. The sheriff, and I'm not talking about Calvin Barrett, Dane County Sheriff. I'm talking the sheriff is up by you on the sidelines, Jason J. Wilde. Is that accurate?
Well, I'm standing at the far end of the field, so I don't know who the sheriff is, but he's not by me.
Okay.
Doesn't know who the sheriff is.
You don't know the sheriff? That's worse than not knowing who Tom Holland is.
I shot the sheriff, but I did not shoot the deputy.
Peyton
Who is it?
J. Manning is the sheriff.
Oh, snap.
Peyton Manning is the sheriff?
You don't know that Peyton Manning's the sheriff?
The sheriff, yeah.
Big sheriff.
Peyton Manning the sheriff?
I don't know. That's what he calls himself.
Howdy,
He's the
partner.
sheriff.
Can you call yourself the sheriff?
Sure.
Do
why
other
not? People
You're
call
telling
him the
me-
sheriff, yes. He's got a commercial out calling himself the sheriff.
Widely regarded as the sheriff.
Yes.
I
Why don't you
should've
go up
said
to him
this
and say, hey, sheriff, what you trying to get Jordan Love to do that quarterback Netflix series, which, God, I hope he does. It would be so good for him. Be good for his bank account, and it would be awesome for Packer fans if they did that.
Yeah, I'll go up to him and I'll ask him, did you give yourself the nickname sheriff, or did somebody give that to you?
Just tell him, hey, Cliffy,
with us. We can
tell
hear
him
him from
Cliffy,
this.
Tell him Cliffy said to say hi to the sheriff and see what he says.
All right, I will work my way down there during a commercial break, because there's a lot of people down there, including apparently the sheriff. I can't believe this is the first I've ever heard of this.
I can't either. It makes my Tom Holland take make even less sense that you are on board with me.
What's worse, not knowing that his nickname is the sheriff?
No, for our group, it's sports related. It's the sheriff.
Yeah.
Omaha.
Joshy, even Joshy knows that he's the sheriff. Yeah, he's shaking his head.
He's shaking his head no?
No, why don't you poll it, Jesse? See, nobody
That's
will
a great
care,
idea.
but
Did
let's
you
poll
know
it.
Peyton Manning was called the sheriff?
Yes
or
just
no?
poll that. See if
right.
people
Great
agree
poll.
with us.
Yes.
I'll put it
Poll
up.
that for sure. All right, so speaking of Peyton Manning, he obviously was very decisive as he became one of the all-time great quarterbacks in NFL history.
Not his rookie season, he wasn't very decisive.
Right, exactly.
29 picks, all-time record.
And that's my point, Tausch, is that's why I was talking about it with Matt LaFleur on Saturday. That's why I wrote about it in the State Journal today, and that's why it's so important. And it's something that I think Jordan would admit, Matt LaFleur would admit, 2020, even 2021, not very decisive. Made strides in that last year, and now the throw that he made that we spent so much time talking about earlier in the show to Samori Toure down the sideline on Saturday, he was also decisive. Not only was he accurate, not only was it on time and in stride, but he made that decision of where to go with the ball. When you didn't play quarterback in the NFL, but isn't this among the most important things for all positions, and then especially at quarterback, is that you don't be indecisive?
Well, I mean, I look at it from a different perspective, and that is you can be decisive, but if you're wrong all the time, you're going to be out of a job. So quarterback, what makes being a great quarterback so special is you have to know what everybody is doing. I don't need to know. I don't need to know that Donald Driver's running an 8-yard dig. What I need to know is, hey, it's a 3-step protection. I got to get his hands down. That's what I need to know. Quarterback needs to know all of those things and coverages. So it's more, I think, decisive is. It's great that when you can be decisive, but if you're decisively wrong, is that really being decisive? It's about knowledge and being able to process information quickly, so that allows you to make good decisions. I would rather it be that than just, well, I don't want you to predetermine what you're doing.
Right.
That's why this job is so hard, because you can get tricked. You have to know everything that's going on. You need to not only know everything that every one of your other 10 guys on that lineup are doing, you need to know what everybody else is doing. You need to know if it's an underfront, they're more likely to run a cross dog out of it, so that your protection unit knows it. And for all of that, that's why you need all of the information so that your decision-making can be sped up. Because you don't have 5 seconds back there. You got about 2.5 to 3 seconds on a good play that you can sit back and look. You have to know what's going on before it even happens. And the only way to do that's what the sheriff was so good at, was predetermining where he was going with the ball. Brett Favre was great at it. Now, sometimes his decisiveness was not great because it went the wrong way. But when he was at his best, 5 steps, ball's out. When he was back, especially late in his career, that's when he got into trouble. Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, when these guys are at their best, they all know. Tom Brady knew where the ball was going before the defense even lined up sometimes, because he knew what they were going to be in, and he knew what the routes were going to be. That's where Jordan Love has to get to, and I'm not expecting him, and that's why Peyton Manning threw 29 picks his first year, because he was decisive, but he didn't know what the hell he was doing yet. That's the process you're going through.
Did you see that develop with Rodgers during those formative years that you were with him?
For sure. And that's reps. That's understanding where the ball is going. That understands where your guys are. And that's coaching to give your quarterback easy throws so he gets confident with what he's seeing and what he's doing. If every play, what just happened right there, sounds like a big applause.
Nothing. The wide receivers are just pumping up the crowd.
Oh, the sheriff.
I thought the sheriff
getting everybody ready.
I thought the sheriff and LaFleur went and were throwing some pat and goes. That's what I thought was happening.
Jadakiss Bonds getting people fired up over in that corner of the stands. So you saw that develop.
Yeah, getting back to that.
Changed.
So, of course, you see Aaron, doing the scout team stuff in 05, 06, and you'd see him make some plays and bring out the belt and do all that stuff. But when you knew he was getting better and better, and this was, if you watch that Dallas game that he subbed in for Brett, he was decisive. He was going where he went to Greg Jennings a lot, but the ball was coming out on time and in rhythm. That's what we're looking for with Jordan. And when you're watching practice, now that the pads are on, everything speeds up, because now guys are going to be bull rushing guys into the backfield. You're going to have to maneuver yourself in the pocket, keeping your eyes down the field and making throws on time and in rhythm. That's what quarterbacking is in this league. And then being able to get out of the pocket and make some big plays outside of it. But when Aaron was struggling, we always would say he's improvising, he's doing too much with that. He's at his best when he's on time and in rhythm. And then those plays are 3 or 4 a game, not 7 or 8. When you start doubling that up, that means what you're doing isn't working.
I am going to go seek out the alleged sheriff and see where he's at. If he greets me with a fist bump, I need to discuss that with you because there's been a development on that reminded me of, remember when he said the handshake was dead?
Yeah, I was dead wrong on that.
I don't know.
Thankfully.
It may not be dead, but it is not as popular as it once was, and there's been a variation on the fist bump that I need Tausch's help with because it's been happening to me a lot in the locker room, and I want to make sure that I'm doing it right. We'll kick off the 11 o'clock hour live from Packers practice at Raynitzky Field, maybe with the sheriff. I'm going to go poll. I'm going to do some Tausch polling. I'm going to ask 3 people on the sideline, do you know who the sheriff is? And we'll see if they agree. The poll is in the field on Twitter as well. We'll kick off the 11 o'clock hour in 2 minutes. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
The happy hour at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton is still Madison's best-kept secret, so shh. From delicious appetizers to amazing drinks, and of course the ambiance provided by that horseshoe bar makes Ruth's Chris Steakhouse a must-go-to. From cocktails with friends, networking happy hours, or just treating the family, and everything in between. Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton has everything you're looking for. So the next time you're looking to treat yourself, go to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. And remember, it's Madison's best-kept secret. Shh.
Hey, this is Eric Name of The Athletic. You're listening to Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN, WTLX Monona, Madison, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson. Sports Center brought to you by ESPN Madison and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. Watch Wilde and Tausch, Scalzo, and Brust, and all your favorite shows, plus interviews and more featured content. Subscribe today, ESPN Madison and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. That's where you can watch Wilde and Tausch streaming live right now as Jason Wilde hosts from the sidelines of Packers training camp. Practice number 5, the first padded practice of the 2023 training camp season. Jason sharing his insights and analysis as Wilde and Tausch continues until noon here on ESPN Wisconsin and Wisconsin On Demand. For more bonus content from training camp practices, ESPN Packers reporter Rob Domofsky has you covered over at ESPNWisconsin.com. Packers gearing up for Family Night taking place on Saturday night at Lambeau Field. Baseball, Brewers swept by the Atlanta Braves over the weekend, including an 8-6 loss on Sunday afternoon. Brewers road trip continues in the nation's capital. First of 3 against the Washington Nationals tonight, 6:05 first pitch. Entering play today, the Brewers a half game back of the Cincinnati Reds for the top spot in the NL Central standings.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch, live from Raynitzky Field, as the Packers go through their first in-pads practice of camp. Routes on air, looking good. Tucker Kraft back in action after leaving Saturday's practice with what looked like maybe a quad issue. 3 out of 3 NFL executives surveyed on the sideline agree they'd never heard that Peyton Manning was called the sheriff.
Come on.
That is absurd.
This is like Tausch's survey on Tom Holland.
That's exactly what That's what I was shooting for. But these are high-ranking Packers officials, all three of them, and one of them.
Yeah, but those guys are all just so dialed into what's going on with their own team. They're
So
not
maybe
watching...
that's me too. Then don't I get the
No, that's
benefit of
definitely
that
not you. You're watching The Fugitive on a Saturday. Don't try to put yourself in Goody or whoever your people are.
Did you ask Murphy? Does Murphy know?
He has not come down to practice yet, but I'm keeping an eye out for him, and I'll
We
ask
gotta
him
get
when
the
he
Chippewa
comes in.
Claws.
The one response was Peyton Manning has a nickname, which can we at least acknowledge that it's not like the bus for Jerome Bettis and some of the other classic like.
Sure it is.
No, it's not.
The bus, the fridge, the sheriff.
No. You guys are crazy.
The bus, the fridge, and the sheriff all walked into a bar.
All right, I'm not buying that. Peyton Manning is a former Indianapolis Colt, though, sheriff or not. And we didn't get to this unless you guys did it while I was walking down to practice. This discussion of running backs in the NFL just continues to get more and more interesting. And now there's a local, obviously, connection to this, as Jonathan Taylor has requested a trade from the Colts. And Tausch, I have a feeling that this is going to go about as well as it went for the last ex-Badgers running back who saw this coming, former ESPN Madison intern, and now Baltimore Raven. When we look at the position and what Melvin Gordon tried to do then and what Jonathan Taylor's trying to do now, I just don't see how these guys are going to change things. And you talked about Jim Irsay earlier. I think he's made it very clear that he has no intention of trading a former Badger.
No, and I don't know what else you ask from these guys. I was not as hard on Melvin Gordon as a lot of people were. I understood what he was thinking and how he wanted to approach it. And I think the way the Colts have handled this has been absolutely brutal. But that does not mean that they have to pay him other than what they owe him. But he's in a position where this is the time he needs to make a move. Because what's going to happen after he plays out this year, they franchise tag him like Josh Jacobs is going through out in Las Vegas. And then, you're 5 years in. Go ahead. Go find somewhere else to pay. Now you're 6 years in. Somebody's going to pay you big money. The Colts are going to stink. Jim Irsay knows that. They got a young new quarterback they're excited about. But Melvin Gordon, JT23 is somebody, he is an MVP type candidate when he's healthy. He did 2 years ago. He should have probably been, if he wasn't the runner-up to A-Rod, if it wasn't just the quarterback, he had a dynamite season and made everything go. He's a home run hitter. He still has that ability. And I don't blame him for figuring out a way to force the Indianapolis Colts hand, because he's going to be part of the development of this new quarterback. He's going to be a bunch of wear and tear. And then what? Deuces B? Oh, yeah, great. Now I'm sitting here, I'm 6 years in, and who's going to want to pay me any amount of money? So force their hands, and I don't think he's going to give any money back. They're already saying, well, he was injured before he came here. That ain't going to fly. He can report and then, my hammy. No player wants to do that. But the way the new CBA is with fines, you think JT23 is going to want to give $50,000 a day up?
Right.
When he's only making $4 million? No, so I hope that he pushes the envelope. And if I was him, the way that owner came out and was so just dismissive and completely arrogant, I don't want to play for you anymore. And the good thing is they have a general manager that has said the same thing that Mike Tomlin. We don't want hostages. We want volunteers. Well, prove it. Because JT23 don't want to be there. And he's not going to get a new deal from anybody else. But maybe you say, I want to go to Buffalo, or I want to go somewhere, Miami, somewhere where the team is actually going to try to win. And if I'm going to play for $4 million, I want to play for a team that can actually win and not just use me up and spit me out. And I don't blame him for doing it.
So, but we agree that this, in the end, it's not going to get them more money, right? None of these, they can have the summits, they can claim that they're going to create a union within a union just for running backs, but Dalvin Cook, if he signs with the Jets, he's going to get paid less this year than Aaron Jones is. And Aaron Jones made the right call in taking a pay cut to stay where he was appreciated.
100% he did. And that's where, I think there's I want to reset the market, Adrian Peterson style. Those days are over. Whether or not the owners are colluding or whatever they're doing, I think Christian McCaffrey got $16 million a year. Nobody is going to sniff that. Now the cap is going to continue to go up, and maybe these guys, as it continues to grow, maybe somebody will get close to that again. But everybody that is given a running back a second contract wishes they hadn't. Aaron Jones has gotten a fair market value deal that he wasn't going to get anywhere else. Because you know what? If he was, you don't think if somebody was whispering in Rosenhaus's ear down at the Combine, hey, we'll pay him 10 or 11. You don't think he would have said, yeah, I'm going to go take that? Of course he would have. Nobody was saying that because you get to this point, nobody is looking at making a substantial investment in you unless it's on a year-to-year basis, which none of these guys want. So at some point you need to make a stand, and Josh Jacobs is doing it, but is Josh Jacobs going to make a stand where he's not going to get paid in the regular season and get the 10 or 11 million?
Right.
I doubt it. That's where we're at with running backs, and it's unfortunate. And the fact that that owner decided to spout off and be a complete idiot would make me even more, I guess, resolute if I was Jonathan Taylor, saying, I'm not going to give you the benefit of my services. If I'm going to play for $4 million this year, I'd rather it be somewhere else.
Right.
And I wouldn't blame him one bit for doing that.
So there are times when we talk about this idea that the Packers are worse off for not having an impulsive owner, that maybe the status quo stays in place longer than it would if there was a billionaire who was more eager to be more aggressive, right? I mean, that doesn't guarantee anything, right? Jerry Jones has been waiting 30 years for his next Super Bowl title, right? But is this one of those instances where we're reminded that even when Mark Murphy, whether he's going to Chippewa Falls or talking about complicated fellas, you're glad that you don't have an owner that behaves the way Jim Irsay does?
Yeah, it would be. There's no doubt. I think Packer fans, we have it pretty good. The great thing is, the resources that are going. They're not going to their kids. It's not going to family members. That revenue that is being generated is getting thrown back into facilities.
New scoreboards.
But also to players. They have done that part of it, we know. Now, whether or not they're as aggressive as they should be in free agency and other things, those are questions you can ask, and you have a philosophy that has worked. It has worked with a franchise quarterback. It will not work if you don't have that guy. Mm-hmm. So we'll find out if there's a shift, if there needs to be, or if lightning strikes 3 times and you get another Hall of Fame quarterback, then whatever the Packers are doing is right, because they can identify and bring in and coach talent up to the point that they can continue to have the success that they're having.
So today's a good day for my placement because I've got the offense at my end of the field, and Jordan Love is throwing along with all the other quarterbacks. Still routes on air, which I know some of our fans don't want me poo-pooing the importance of routes on air. But I will tell you this, Tausch, and this is something that I've noticed before, but I just watched him on successive plays. I really like the way Luke Musgrave catches the ball. And I know that sounds dumb and simplistic, but he snatches the ball, and you've seen this, right? I mean, hey, we saw you snatch a ball for a touchdown on Christmas against the Bears. Thanks to Gray Rugemer, it didn't count. But there are guys that pluck the ball, and then there are guys that aren't quite as confident with their hands. I would say Christian Watson sometimes doesn't have that confidence. But when I watch 87, which is Romeo Doubs, and 88, which is Luke Musgrave, I love the way they catch. And I've always kind of wondered, if you're not a natural catcher, how much can you develop that? Do you remember guys that struggled with that got significantly better? Like, I feel like James Jones maybe is a good example of that. But if it's not innate, I always feel like that's a really big hill to climb for a pass catcher.
Yeah, I mean, I think, some guys have soft hands and it works. And then there's other guys. Antonio Freeman was a body catcher. I mean, he caught the ball into his shoulder pads a ton and had a heck of a career. You obviously want guys that are hands catchers, soft, but you have to kind of just figure out who you are and how am I going to consistently catch the football. It is, I believe, you can work at it, you can continue, but I think just like whether or not you want to put your nose in there, some of those things are just given to you and innately you can work on it, but when it's not natural, you have to work that much harder at it.
I'm not going to make a big deal out of the fact that Smitty just caught like a 60-yard bomb from Jordan Love against coverage.
Sounds like Smitty's having a tough camp, though, blocking.
We've got the pads on today, right? So now we'll really find out where he's at. I know how much you love Smitty, but you don't love him nearly as much as you love your Coors Light.
Oh, the weekend was nice. It was relaxing. It was chilling. And it was because Coors Light was in my hand, brewed with a 3-step cold process, cold packaged, cold lagered, cold filtered. It's always Coors Light in my hand, and I love it when those mountains are blue. That's when I know that Coors Light's cold-activated bottles and cans are chilled to perfection. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Well, you talked about Jim Irsay talking like an idiot. So did Sean Payton.
Hey, Peyton Manning, he's not associating himself with the Colts. The sheriff, you ask him, he's telling you he's a Denver Bronco. Why do you think that is?
Matt Coonan has pointed out that Peyton Manning doesn't not look like Woody from Toy Story. And we've got the side-by-side up on the video stream. I could see it.
I think one of our many tweeters pointed out that maybe John Gruden is the one who nicknamed him the sheriff.
I'll tell you what, man.
Which might be why it hadn't caught on, man.
Statute of limitations up here yet, man, on doing this
just
voice.
Because you don't know. Just same thing that I don't know Tom Holland doesn't mean he's not popular.
We're over 30-some% in the poll of people that didn't know that he was nicknamed the sheriff.
Yeah, but 70% no. That's a pretty substantial amount.
I think more people know Tom Holland than they know that his nickname's the sheriff. We'll have to put those side by side. I want to talk about Sean Payton and how Aaron Rodgers responded to him. We'll do that coming up next, live from Packers training camp practice at Ray Nitschke Field. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
John Hayes for Goodman's Jewelers. Help us celebrate 90 years in business by visiting us at 220 State Street. We've been a part of a lot of great moments, and we want to add to those special occasions. Our staff is here to help you make that perfect selection for your memorable moment. Come see firsthand why Goodman's Jewelers has withstood the test of time and why we're truly a destination worth reaching. Goodman's Jewelers, the Diamond Store of Madison, and a whole lot more. Goodman'sJewelers.com.
The best is at Goodman's.
Goodman's Jewelers has been providing the sparkle to Madison since 1933. That's a lot of great memories. John Hayes for Goodman's Jewelers. We've been caring for generations of customers, and during that time our strengths have been trust, service, and selection. Those traits are who we are, and that will never change. Goodman's Jewelers, a destination worth reaching. 220 State Street, Goodman'sJewelers.com.
The best is at Goodman's.
Hi, I'm attorney David Gruber. After an accident, you need a trusted winning team on your side. For more than 30 years, Gruber Law Offices has helped Wisconsin families get the results they deserve. If you've been injured, call our firm today for a free consultation. We're available 24/7. Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
Hey, it's Alex Strofe. I love locally produced, handcrafted, and award-winning spirits, so it's a no-brainer. I choose Door County Distillery, which uses local ingredients for their wide array of whiskeys, brandies, rums, vodkas, gins, and a whole lot more. Available at your favorite retailer, or if you're headed up to Door County, find them on Highway 42 near Carlsville, where there's year-round sampling and sales. And by the way, head over to their website for a huge list of unique cocktail recipes. That's DoorCountyDistillery.com. DoorCountyDistillery.com.
Ben Brust here to tell you about why your next work van should be from Mercedes-Benz Sprinter at Zimbrick European. First off, we have versatility. The Sprinter vans offer 16 body types and thousands of ways to customize that space. Number 2, we have reliability. Sprinter's most powerful diesel engines last longer and require less maintenance, spend more time on the road and less time in those bays. Number 3, we have safety. Sprinter's safety technologies include curtain airbags all around, load adaptive electronic stability program, and crosswind and attention assist. Number 4, Van Care Mobile. Our maintenance team can come to you with routine service. Who wants to go in? Let them come to you. They work with multiple trucks on one visit. Use the Mercedes Me Connect. And last but not least, get your Zimbrick Sprinter at Zimbrick European at Rimrock Road and the Beltline, or go online at ZimbrickEuropean.com because they never charge over the MSRP.
Stoughton Health provides comprehensive and compassionate care to Stoughton community and the entire Madison area. From our sports rehab facilities in Oregon and Stoughton to our renowned ortho team with Dr. Ravel, Stoughton Health can help. Learn more at stoughtonhealth.com.
Are you a veteran who needs assistance? Do you know a veteran who needs help? The Wisconsin Department of Veterans Affairs is here for Wisconsin veterans, their families, and their survivors. We can help connect veterans with services such as medical care, financial and legal assistance, housing, mental health services, substance use treatment, and more. For more information, please visit wisvets.com. That's WIS vets.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Veterans Affairs, with funding provided by the Milwaukee Brewers and the Brewers Community Foundation.
Since 2003, Wounded Warrior Project has helped post 9/11 veterans adjust back to civilian life. Through specialized programs, they begin healing their bodies and minds while regaining a sense of camaraderie. Learn more at woundedwarriorproject.org/possible.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Live from Packers training camp at Rainishke Field. Tausch, could you tell if there was a fight that was brewing?
Yes.
Like during practice, could you feel it coming?
For sure. It's usually Nick Barnett was involved.
He was usually involved. A big catch there. The cheer was for Jaden Reed, who just caught a downfield ball against Carrington Valentine from Danny Etling. That's also significant because it's one of the few completions that the quarterbacks and wide receivers and tight ends have had during this period. So it's one-on-ones, Tausch. And I always think of Heath Ledger as the Joker when he says, aggressive expansion. It has been very aggressive from the defensive backs, and it hasn't been pretty. Jordan Love now back under center for this one, and he's got Bo Melton, and he missed him badly. Jordan Love has one completion out of 9 passes now in this drill. It's not all him. His one completion he threw very high, and it happened to be to Christian Watson, who is tall and can jump out of the gym. So that was the one completion.
Is he still spindly or is he bulked up?
He's bulked up some, but he's still rather wiry. But these defensive backs are getting after it. I mean, really getting after it.
And especially with,
Oh, no, there's a good throw. There's a good throw from Jordan Love to Tucker Crafts. So there's a big touchdown. So
what I was going to say is you got these young guys that are coming, and Watson and Dobbs obviously have been around a year and understand Jair and Razul. Razul Douglas always plays. He gets up in people's faces and tries to be physical. And for young guys, I think when you have the speed and skill set that you have in the collegiate level, unless you're going against one of the top dogs, you're not going to see that aggressive, physical, man-to-man coverage that you're going to see in one-on-ones here. So that's a process that these young guys will have to go through, and you're going to look to see. And I think Romeo Dobbs did a really good job of that last year of, being physical and finding ways when he was healthy of doing that, where Christian Watson maybe didn't. That's what these young guys are going to have to continue to work through and work on their releases. And by the way, that's where a Devontae Adams or somebody veteran-y could help with some of that stuff.
Tavares Moore knocking away a downfield ball intended for Luke Musgrave. This is very aggressive. The officials are going to have to start throwing some flags on some of these. These are clearly pass interference. All right, Tausch, at the same time that this is going on at my end of the field, you know what goes on at the other end of the field during this period. That's the pass protection, rushing period. Danny Entling has been the best quarterback during this drill, by the way. He just threw it like a 50-yard touchdown to Bo Melton, who is eating up the crowd reaction, by the way. That was one of the things, you've told the story before, of how you made an impression, right? You did it against Vonnie Holiday. I mean, how important of a drill is that for offensive linemen trying to make an impression? I know it's not the same as 11-on-11, but when you're in pads and you're doing real pass protection, how vital is that?
Well, that was a moment in my career that I think helped elevate my opportunity. I got more opportunities. It was just exactly what you're talking about. It was probably the fourth or fifth day, and Vonnie was a big, strong dude. And I took Vonnie, and I had just blocked him and not let him get to the quarterback, and he called me out for doing another one. And so he came at me again, and I got my inside hand kind of pinned right under his inside arm, and I took him and I dumped him to the ground, and everybody went BS crazy. And awesomely for me, the horn blew right at that. So we all had to run to our next drill, which was a blitz pickup or just a regular team drill. And everybody's asking, what the heck happened down there? Me being at this point still mute, not talking, I think Flanagan was just like, oh, Tausch just dominated Vonnie, threw him to the ground. And Mike Sherman's ears perked up. Obviously, they watched the film anyways, but that was one of those moments where you belonged. And when people ask me, when did you know you belonged in the NFL, that was one of those moments. And I always thank Vonnie for calling me out for a second rep back-to-back and allowing me to get that work, because that's how coaches – you could do all this other stuff, but coaches get that in their mind, and they're, oh, okay, yeah, I saw you at your best. Now let's see more of that, and that gives you more opportunities.
All right, we'll continue to update you on what's going on. We're into a special teams period at this end now, so the old man on the roster, Pat O'Donnell, is punting. And, oh, by the way, they've got this Irish lad from UC Davis, Daniel Whalen, who was wailing on the ball the other day.
Good one.
Thank you. He was crushing the ball, and that might be something worth watching, by the way, I just think. All right, so, Tausch, this happened a couple of days ago with Sean Payton, where he went in on Nathaniel Hackett, called it one of the worst coaching jobs in the history of the league. I don't understand what he was exactly trying to accomplish, but you never hear coaches do that to other coaches. Now, I don't want to be a hypocrite, so I appreciate him being honest. I don't know what he was trying to do, but it obviously did not go over well with the new Jets quarterback. You might be familiar with his work. His name's Aaron Rodgers.
He's a complicated fella.
He did an appearance on NFL Plus via the NFL Network with our old buddy Peter Schrager, and he stood up for not just Nathaniel Hackett, but Robert Saleh as well. Here is Rodgers discussing that quote-unquote controversy.
Yeah, I love Nathaniel Hackett, and those comments were very surprising. For a coach to do that to another coach. My love for Hack goes deep. We had some great years together in Green Bay, kept in touch. Love him and his family. He's an incredible family man, incredible dad. And on the field, he's arguably my favorite coach I've ever had in the NFL. Just his approach to it, how he makes it fun, how he cares about the guys. just how he goes about his business with respect, with leadership, with honesty, with integrity. And it made me feel bad that someone who's accomplished a lot in the league is that insecure that they have to take another man down to set themselves up for some sort of easy fall if it doesn't go well for that team this year. I thought it was way out of line and inappropriate, and I think he needs to keep my coach's names out of his mouth.
That is Aaron Rodgers on the NFL Network. Tausch, I don't know what Sean Payton was trying to accomplish there, but I also don't know if I agree with the theory. By the way, big interception there by Carrington Valentine. I can't see who threw that ball, but that's the cheer you hear. Big interception there. Would have been a pick six. I don't know if Sean Payton was actually softening the landing if the Broncos aren't any good. It would seem to me that the logic would actually stand to be the opposite. Like if you say that the coaching was so bad, that would be indicating that you should be able to turn it around because you're a better coach.
Yeah, it's not hard to figure out what he's doing, and it's about the rebuild of Russell Wilson because when he took this job, and I think he was very reluctant. I think Denver wanted him right away. He kind of snooped around other spots because I would love to go back and listen to his criticisms when he was actually an analyst at Fox. Was he saying this stuff about Nathaniel Hackett then?
I don't think to this degree. And he admitted he had his Fox hat on when he said that.
I always love that when we ask A-Rod to put his GM hat on, and who knew then that he was actually going to be a GM. But I think this is all about Russell Wilson and the fact that he needs to take some of the pressure off of Russell and put it on the old staff. It was unheard of. I was shocked when he said it. He has backtracked, which he shouldn't have, because that's obviously the way he feels. And so I think where Aaron was off is this insecurity. No. Sean Payton ain't insecure. Sean Payton that's the last thing that Sean Payton is. I don't think he's hindering this because, as you just said, this is a case where if he's at all any decent of a coach, he's going to turn that around because if the coaching was the worst he's ever seen, that's worth 3 or 4 wins. So he's actually putting more pressure on him. He's trying to alleviate some of the pressure off of Russell Wilson and putting it on the old staff and on himself, which I think from a coach's standpoint, that's what he should be doing. Just like Aaron, when he was doing the relax and all the other stuff, he was taking pressure off of his teammates. That's what good leadership is. Now, being a jerk and going as far as he did, I don't do it, but the dogs, they do that stuff. And Sean Payton, we always want honesty. And from a media standpoint, I love it. I like more of it. But from a player and just from a general human being standpoint, I think it was pretty Bush League-ish.
So I want to talk a little bit more about this, though, and not the Rodgers chunk of it necessarily. But, we just said you want honesty. Is that honesty? Is that an honest assessment of why Russell Wilson wasn't very good last year? Or is it possible that Russell Wilson just isn't very good anymore?
We'll find out. We're going to find out.
We'll talk about that. Plus, we'll get to Wonelli as we continue live from Packers training camp practice. We got some 11-on-11 work going. After Carrington Valentine's interception got everybody going, Danny Etling with a nice, really pretty down-the-field ball, again to Jaden Reed, who has made some plays in the last couple of days.
Wow.
Wow is strong, but he's looked good. There's no doubt about that. We'll talk about him and everything else we've got going on here live at Ray Nitschke Field. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
You forgot to clean out your backpack since school ended? Oh, rotten.
Let's make our windows.
Well, you make a great point. Tell you what, let's clean out your backpack and then we'll...
from Pella.
Well, we can't do anything about rotten lunches. Pella's lifetime warranty on wood windows and doors makes it so that you'll never have to worry about rotting windows again. Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, make payments as low as $35 per month per window and $78 per patio door. Visit PellaWI.com.
Set summer in motion with the most electrifying Honda vehicles yet.
like the CR-V and Accord, with available hybrid powertrains designed to deliver more thrilling performance and more innovative tech. Summer's here. Make every adventure more electrifying with Honda, the most awarded brand in car and driver 10 Best history.
See your Wisconsin Heartland Honda dealer today. Honda gets Wisconsin.
See dealer for financing details.
Bringing summer gatherings to the next level is just another thing we do at Celebrations Entertainment. Hi, it's Jeffrey. With rental items like sound equipment, photo booths, and even yard games, you can make your event the party that everyone talks about. Any event like graduation parties, block parties, or even a backyard barbecue can be elevated with fun, interactive items to make everyone ask, hey, how'd you pull this off? Just tell them celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Big trailers and big opportunity. Since 1962, Stoughton Trailers has been a family-owned and operated business providing a professional yet casual work environment in Stoughton, Evansville, and Broadhead. If you're looking for your hard work to be rewarded with competitive wages and excellent benefits, plus growth and advancement opportunities, Stoughton Trailers is the spot for you. Positions now open in production, operations, finance, sales, engineering, and more. Go to stojobs.com to apply today. Stoughton Trailers, big trailers, big opportunity.
Hey, it's Alex Strofe. I love locally produced, handcrafted, and award-winning spirits, so it's a no-brainer. I choose Door County Distillery, which uses local ingredients for their wide array of whiskeys, brandies, rums, vodkas, gins, and a whole lot more. Available at your favorite retailer, or if you're headed up to Door County, find them on Highway 42 near Carlsville, where there's year-round sampling and sales. And by the way, head over to their website for a huge list of unique cocktail recipes. That's DoorCountyDistillery.com. DoorCountyDistillery.com.
Mike Greenberg is Greeny.
Green Bay has the longest odds to win the NFC North. Now, once upon a time, they demonstrated that you get a quarterback in, learn from a legendary player. They have an offensive coach who I think knows what he's doing. Unless they just missed so badly that it's unimaginable, I think Green Bay has a real shot to be in this thing all the way through the season.
Greeny, weekdays noon to 2 on 100.5 ESPN.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm Vice President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Like, share, and follow ESPN Madison everywhere. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok for more great content from ESPN Madison. This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
You've got me seeing stars brighter than ever, shining just like diamonds do. I know that in time it could be all ours, brighter than ever. Your love is such a dream come true. I know I need you. I know I need you. There's a love I've been keeping aside, and you're the missing puzzle piece that I've been trying to find.
Continuing live from Packers practice at Ray-Nitschke Field. Doing some field goal protection work right now, which is better than field goal kicking work, which did not go very well on Saturday. Tausch, again, you've done a lot. You've had a lot of teammates, but I know that kickers have off days. Certainly, Anders Carlson had one on Saturday. Matt LaFleur, I thought, did exactly what he needed to do and say we're not going to overreact from one day. But he is going to be scrutinized. And 2 for 7, with one of them being a 19-yarder. is going to be scrutinized. I mean, that's what's going to come with the territory when you, as an organization, choose to draft a kicker, choose to move on from the all-time leading scorer, who I think was very willing to come back on an affordable one-year deal to continue playing here. That's going to be what it's like for Anders Carlson throughout this camp and throughout this preseason, is it not?
It is, and I think, I saw LaFleur's comments in his presser prior to this practice, and you need to kind of just slow down because Mason had games where he went 1 for 5, right? Up in Detroit, he was missing everything, and you have to continue. His brother, Daniel Carlson, missed a bunch of kicks that would have beaten the Green Bay Packers in Minnesota a few years ago. There are ups and downs, and you want to give someone a chance to grow into the job. Kickers don't have the same luxury that O-linemen, tight ends. You can't not perform because games are relied upon, and you're the only guy. And it's a pretty simple gig. Make the kicks. Don't care how you do it, just make them. But your confidence can wane. And you hope that Anders Carlson has enough confidence in himself that he will not let one bad practice dictate how the rest of his camp goes and everything else. So I think you have patience. The great thing about that position is you can find a ton of older players that can step in and get the job done for you. But Green Bay made a decision this offseason to get younger, and they want to build and have people grow into jobs. They want this kid. You don't draft a kicker if you don't expect them to be the kicker. It happened in 96 with Conway to Longwell.
Right.
You still have to perform. So he's going to get every opportunity, but there does come a point of we need to move on. It's not anywhere close yet, but just like we saw Maher down in the postseason game with the Cowboys, those things leave a mark. And just like positive things will leave a mark on coaches to say, let's continue to give this guy chances, the negatives do too. And Mason Crosby, to his credit, was able to bounce back after 2012 and continue on for another 10 years. That's what I think they're hoping that Anders Carlson can do, and it's way too early to write anybody off.
Let's get to Wonelli.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Wonelli
on Wilde and Tausch.
A quick update for you before we get to a couple other things. 70% of fans right now, guys.
The sheriff.
No,
69.
Yeah,
it's down to 69. Get it updated, Jesse.
Have you talked
69.
to the sheriff yet, Jason?
Well, no, I've been doing this radio program.
Well,
he appears to be a little. Yeah, we're playing Boston right now, which is good. Sometimes the music that gets played also. First of all, we don't want to get kicked off of YouTube, but second of all, there's some questionable lyrics that could be problematic.
Jesse will find a way for us to get kicked off of YouTube.
That's fair.
We've been pretty good at that.
Wonelli.
Hey, let's hear a little bit more from Aaron Rodgers with his little NFL Plus appearance with Peter Schrager. Here he is talking more, as he has throughout the offseason, about loving New York.
I love it. I'm having a blast. I grew up in a small town, a lot of small towns in Northern California. I've dreamt since I was a kid of being in a big city. I moved to LA and San Diego, and so I've been to some of those on the West Coast. But I'm loving the East Coast. I'm really loving the city. I'm loving Jersey, where I'm at. Met a lot of great people being out and about. Done a lot of incredible things, from hockey game at MSG, a couple Knicks games, Taylor Swift concert, Ed Sheeran concert. We've been to Wicked and now Back to the Future.
How is the Back to the Future? Because that's
new. It is a must-watch.
Yeah?
If you're a fan,
oh come on,
and I'm a fan.
I go DeLorean. We can go too.
I'm a 1-3-2 though is my order. I'm a big fan of 3. A lot of people aren't. I love 3.
The Western.
It's the second best. 1-3-2. That's for me.
That's Rodgers yucking it up with Peter Schrager. What I thought when I heard that, Tausch, and correct me if I'm wrong, do you think he's being authentic by saying that, or is he still playing the PR game of winning over the New York fans and everybody with his new team?
I think, as most of us, when you have a big decision and you end up having a bunch of transition, you want it to be the best that it can be. He's been there now 2 or 3 months. He has not had any of the scrutiny from a tough loss yet, any of that. So he's in the honeymoon phase of this whole operation. He is, in love with the city. I think there's no doubt. He's always been, somebody that likes all of the big events. He's embracing everything that New York City has to offer, which he should be doing. But he loves Green Bay too. I think he's somebody that tries to make the best of the situations that he's in, and he wants to make sure everybody knows that it's going swimmingly, and when it's not, he'll let us know. And right now, things are swimmingly because everybody is on board, and he's playing it. So I think he is trying to manifest this decision to be great. He wants it to be great. And I think he's a positive, he wants to be the power of positivity guy. And if he's sitting there trashing New York at this point, I don't think that would be a great look.
I don't think it's fake. I think initially he was saying all the right things, but I think it appears that he spent a big chunk of the offseason out there, right? Like, not just the OTAs either. Like, he was going to the Tony Awards and everything else. Like, I do think, and as someone who lives in a small town of Green Bay, Wisconsin, and has visited New York City, where I could never make it long term, I totally acknowledge that. But when you go there, Tausch, you've been there a fair number. There is an energy and an excitement and so much to do and so many places to eat and all that when you come from here, there is a bump and an excitement. And
yes, but I think, again, everybody is different, wired differently. New York is a great place to visit.
Yeah. Wouldn't want to live there.
No.
Yeah, me either.
It's fun to go do a Broadway show. It's fun to do all this stuff. And then it's fun to get on a plane and come home.
Interesting that he's living in Jersey, though, close to the facility, instead of in like Manhattan and having to commute every day or take the subway out of town into Jersey.
You know what's funny? I love a good subway ride. Like when we were in Paris, when we went over to London for the game. It is a great way to get a good vibe on what's going on in the cities too. I'm a monster fan. I'm not a big fan of all the traffic. Matter of fact, when we were in Portland, it drove me nuts. I couldn't take it. I didn't want to be there. So I don't mind driving for 4 hours, but if I'm driving in bumper to bumper for 45 minutes, it sucks the life out of me. I can't do it.
Yep. And you can't stop to go pee. Whoa, Nelly.
Whoa, Nelly! One more from Aaron Rodgers with Peter Schrager. He was asked about going to see Oppenheimer in theaters. Yeah, here it comes.
I thought it was great. If I would have watched it at maybe 6 o'clock in the evening, I probably would have loved it because it was 9 o'clock.
Yeah,
I really liked it. I'll tell you what my favorite Christopher Nolan movie, though, is The Prestige.
The Magician,
it's
the
incredible.
Prestige. I thought you were going to go like Memento.
No.
Tenet, which I'm
Christian
still
Bale and Hugh Jackman, Scarlett Johansson, Michael Caine. Fantastic movie. I've seen that like 50 times.
Jason, you didn't recommend that to him after we recommended it to you, did you?
I did. No, that would be inaccurate. I did talk to him about it after I watched it because of you, though. And he told me how great it was. He couldn't believe that I hadn't seen it until, that was like, what was that? That was like 3 years ago.
Yeah, I think that was during 2020, yeah.
Prestige came out a long time ago.
No. When I watched it, right? Because don't you remember Jesse telling me how great it was, and then he sent me the DVD, and then I ended up finding it.
I told Homer back in the day I don't know what year that movie came out, but Jesse, I need you tomorrow for Power Rankings Tuesday. Get us a list of Nolan movies, and we need to power rank them. Because I don't think I'm going to be far off from old boy. I don't know of many movies outside. Did Nolan do the Batman with Bale too?
So yeah, Nolan did the Three Dark Knights, Interstellar.
Surprise. Okay, Interstellar. I don't know anything about. But let's get a list and let's power rank Nolan tomorrow.
Tom Holland is in that.
I didn't even know that Prestige was a Nolan movie. So maybe
great.
I'm starting to think when I was doing this Tom Holland thing this morning, maybe I'm just not a movie guy.
No.
But you don't say.
Trust me, go through those 90s and early 2000 movies. I'm going to be able to spit a lot of facts at you.
Yeah. But you were hoping Oppenheimer would be on the plane.
Yeah,
like you're not going to the movies very much, right? That's a fair critique.
I used to, yeah.
There's a lot of things we both used to do. I would say this. First of all, I think he nailed the rankings of the Back to the Future movies, 1, 3, 2. I would push back. I loved The Prestige. You were right, Jesse. I wish I had seen it earlier. I have watched it multiple times since. I saved it on our DVR so I could watch it more frequently.
Very good.
But I got to say, the 3 Batman movies, he did all 3, right, in that trilogy? I would go The Dark Knight, then the one with your guy Bane, and then the first one. But
hey, can someone explain to me why these movies that you could easily save on DVR, but you have to pay when you go onto your streaming platforms? Like, I tried to watch Forrest Gump, and I had to go like 6 different ways before I didn't have to pay for it, and then I had commercials I had to go through. What are we doing here? What are we paying for? What are we paying for with the app if you're not going to... Warner Brothers, I assume, owns it. The Warner Brothers app should be putting out Forrest Gump. I think Warner. I don't know if that's who did it, but you get what I'm saying? Like, what
we do understand.
It's one of the perks of a capitalistic society.
Well, that's a whole nother conversation I'm not willing to have right now.
We will wrap things up live from Packers training camp, where we have 11 on 11 now going on, separated on the 2-spot system. So Jordan Love and the 1s, and as I like to call them, high 2s, are at the far end. I've got Danny Etling in the lower 2s and the 3s and the 4s at my end. We'll tell you what's going on when we wrap things up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Hi, I'm Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock with Retirement Income Strategies. And what sets us apart is we're an independent, family-run office. We help clients like you understand the financial world and build a portfolio that's in your best interest. To learn more, go to madisonmoneyguy.com.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
This Badger Minute brought to you by the Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's home for craft beer and pub food since 1994. Find the Great Dane nearest you at greatdanepub.com. Coming off 2 straight 1,200-yard, 10-plus touchdown seasons, Badger junior running back Braylen Allen was on the Great Dane Huddle live from Big Ten Media Days in Indianapolis last week, and he said it's easy to tune out the outside noise and expectations.
Nobody puts more pressure and expectations on me than myself. Like, there's nobody that has a higher standard for me than me. I always want to be the best, and, I expect big things for myself, and I expect big things from whatever team I'm playing on.
Find the full conversation with Braylen Allen on Wisconsin On Demand or wherever you get your podcasts on the Great Dane Huddle.
Badger Minutes on ESPN Wisconsin are brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Schedule an appointment online today at PellaWI.com.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Olson Toon has been customizing both residential and commercial outdoor living spaces since 1997. Matt Hamilton here from ESPN Madison. For over 50 years of combined experience in their management and design teams, Olson Toon has become one of Wisconsin's premier building and landscaping outdoor living firms. Landscaping and maintenance, irrigation, concrete work, pools, and more. If you have an outdoor living need, Olson Toon is here to help. Go to olsontoon.com to get started on your home project today. That's olsontoon.com.
you can drive cutting-edge design. 2023 Audis are on the lot and ready for delivery. Take advantage of 3.99% APR financing for up to 60 months on select new 2023 models. See dealer for details and exclusions. $18.41 a month per $1,000 finance. No down payment required. To qualified buyers through Audi Financial Services. Offer ends July 31st. Stop in and test drive today. Check out our website to see the current inventory and our monthly specials. The search for your Audi begins and ends at Zimrick Audi of Madison, off the Beltline and Rimrock Road. Drive yours today.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Brust for Road America. Make the most out of your summer at Elkhart Lakes Road America. Slow down your summer and take in some high-speed thrills at Elkhart Lakes Road America. The race season is still going strong. Don't miss a minute of the fun, as you can camp on site all weekend and enjoy free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult at the gate. The IMSA Sports Car Weekend takes over Road America August 3rd through the 6th. Get your tickets today at roadamerica.com. Road America, America's National Park of Speed.
What is dedication?
People ask, how your children learn how to ride a bike and you didn't? I just created an environment where they taught themselves, and all I had to do was be there.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Hey, this is Craig Karmazin, founder of Good Karma Brands. Join Kyle Wallace and me every Sunday morning from 10 to noon for Sunday Karma here on 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
All right, Tausch. I just had something really cool happen.
Oh, the sheriff came over and gave you an old six-shooter?
The sheriff did not come over.
Howdy, Jason.
I'm just
tip of the cap.
A lot of people watch Monday Night Football, apparently. That's how they do that. So I love what we do. And I know that one of the best things was when people would say how we helped them through, like, the pandemic, and we entertained them during that. And I take that stuff to heart, right? So I'm standing on the sideline. I'm by myself at the far end, and this guy in a blue shirt with his daughter, he's got an earbud in one ear, and he comes up and he extends his hand. And his name is Mark, it says on his name tag. And he stops and says, just want to tell you how much I love the show. Wanted to say hi. This is my daughter, Bella. I'm like, oh, that's perfect. You caught me right in a commercial break. I know, he says. And he points at his earbud. He's at practice, watching practice, listening to the show. And he had to come up and say hi and tell us, make sure I pass the line to everybody.
That's a potential Hall of Fame. Are we, Jesse, are we going to do the Hall of Fame? Are we going to do 2? Are we going to do 3? Are we not doing any?
Well, we never had a meeting. You've been gone. I don't know if
we did. I was on it. You never showed up.
No. What?
I think you're on vacation.
I say yes. I say we induct the inaugural.
I'm nominating Mark.
Hall of Fame class
Mark
on
officially.
Friday. I say we do it.
Okay.
Oh, now we're just going to do it on Friday? We're just
Hall of Fame day. Yeah.
Hall of Fame's on Saturday. Do it Friday.
When are Jordy and Josh Sitton going into the Packers Hall of Fame?
That's the end of this. It's the end of next month, which is tomorrow.
So we could wait.
Yeah, I think we do this. I think we
need
do
to get
one.
some momentum of the nominations.
Yeah, that's true. Come on, Jesse.
Well, we got to have a meeting on how we even want to do this in the first place.
Make sure you have it before August 8th through the 8th.
Tausch just text us half a sentence. We'll figure it out.
All right, there's the training camp horn. Practice will continue, but Wilde and Tausch will come to an end for today. So they are going to do some more 11-on-11 stuff here. I'm going to go seek out the sheriff, as I was told. You want me to say, "Hey, sheriff," and see if he responds?
Yes,
Is that what you want me to do? All right,
I want you to do what you think is going to be best to tell on air tomorrow morning.
I just want to know if he's here because he's getting ready to put Jordan Love on season 2 of quarterback. That is most definitely something I want to find out. That's it for us today. Thanks for coming along for the ride. Practice continues live at Ray Nitschke Field, but that's it for Wilde and Tausch.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on